Hey, welcome to Usually Disappointed, in episode 2. I'm Ethan.
I'm Ben.
And boy, jolly golly, do we have some zesty stuff to talk about today.
Yes, we do.
Yeah, we're going to talk about the 15 best and worst films of 2017, because nothing says... nothing really says celebrating March, like talking about... last year's leftovers. So, gonna talk about it. And then after talking about the best and the worst films, we're gonna talk about the 2018 Oscars. Don't mind Ben, he's pulling up lists and stuff on Letterboxd so we can track this stuff easier.
As if you're clicking and typing, I have a mechanical keyboard, so that might be kind of obnoxious. I'll try to avoid typing, but we're just pulling up resources. So.
Yeah, all good. But we'll be talking about the 2018 Oscars, what's nominated. We're going to talk about the categories that we kind of most care about. Like, I don't think we're really going to bother mentioning animated category. Well, animated short film and regular short film and stuff like that. I think we'll probably just mainly talk about Best Picture, lead and supporting actor and actress, score, stuff like that. We'll play that by ear because nothing says professional like playing it by ear.
Yep.
So anyway.
All right, so what are we going to start with
We're going to talk about the best movies because we're going to start everything off on a positive note, so when we spend 2 hours bitching and moaning, we can at least have the good stuff out of the way first.
Yeah.
I'm disconnecting my phone from the charger.
So before we get to the moaning, we start. I mean, we'll gush and then we'll moan.
Yeah. Oh.
Basically.
No. Sacrifice yourself. That is not okay.
I just realized. Okay. All right. So let's get started with our top 5. We're going to count down top 5.
Well, we're going to go from 15 to 6.
15 to
and
6.
We're just going to list those. We're not going to go into detail.
Or how about we just say, like, just one simple thing that made you like it?
Okay.
Yes.
Just a quick one-sentence review, like almost everyone on Letterboxd.
Yep.
Hey,
there we go.
Screw you, Letterboxd users.
All right, so you've got your 2017 ranked pulled up right there?
Yep, on Letterboxd. All right.
Okay.
Number 15. My number 15 favorite film of the year is the Lego Batman movie. It's got a lot of charm. It's sweet. It's cute. It's to the point. Got a lot of old Batman jokes for those people who've had investment in the franchise and whatnot. Yeah, I loved it.
So Lego Batman. My number 15. I didn't like organize a ranked list on Letterboxd, so I've got it like organized kind of like by year release 2017 and then like highest to lowest rating. But I think my bottom one would be, or these are the 15 best.
Yeah.
So I'd probably have to say...
Ooh, we were really prepared for this, weren't we?
Yeah, well, at least I was, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Justice League.
Sure, Justice League. Because whereas...
Oh, who's saying that as a joke?
Because it's like my bottom... I guess I don't really have like a most terrible films.
Well, I mean...
I didn't see that many, so...
Yeah. I mean, I have like 110 films.
Okay, so films that I liked though. Okay, Thor Ragnarok. Let's just start there. Thor Ragnarok. I really liked it. It's your classic Marvel superhero film. Lots of just kind of shoehorned in jokes, that type of stuff. Lots of a little bit of an 80s vibe, so it was kind of cool. Laughed a lot, but yeah, that's Thor Ragnarok.
Yeah.
15.
My number 14. Sorry, I moved away from the microphone. It Comes at Night. I love the movie. I think it's very underrated because the trailer mismarketed it, and then people went in expecting a completely different film. A24, honestly, as much as I love them, did some pretty bad marketing. But it's a great movie. It's not a horror movie. It's a really cool apocalyptic thriller. Joel Edgerton's performance. It's Joel Edgerton, right?
Yeah, I believe so.
Yeah, Joel Edgerton. He did a really good job. His performance was just amazing. Great movie. really suspenseful, really gripping, not scary. So, but yeah, that's probably one of my most controversial picks, is because a lot of people hate that movie.
All right, next up, I'm gonna have to say, is another superhero film, Spider-Man: Homecoming.
That one was good.
That one was good. I think I just tend to like the Sam Raimi ones better because I have a nostalgic connection to them.
Yeah, and I mean technically
So,
they are really well made.
They are really well made.
Well, I don't know about 3, but Sam Raimi put a lot of work into those other two. So
Yeah. So yeah, Spider-Man: Homecoming, lack of an origin story. They didn't really need it. They already had two other different.
We already know it at this point.
Yeah,
Jeez
they already had
Louise.
two other Spider-Men who portrayed an origin story, so we didn't really need that. Obviously,
I swear,
it's Marvel.
if there's a Spider-Man movie where I'm going to see like Uncle Ben get shot again, I'm gonna throw a fit. We don't need to see it.
We all know Uncle Ben dies. But yeah, Spider-Man: Homecoming. It's, again, classic Marvel. Some jokes are funny, others fall flat. It just really depends on your sense of humor. It was fun. It was good.
Yeah, my number 13 is Lady Bird. Directorial debut from Greta Gerwig. I think it's a really nice and charming movie. Some good performances. I think there's just a couple things kind of holding it back. But, I loved it. I thought it was really nice and it was very sweet. Although it doesn't necessarily do anything new, it does it with passion and it does it with heart. The writing is very good, and I think that's probably the strongest thing the film really had going for it. Yeah, it's nice, it's soft, it's kind of sweet, even though it's rated R. And it's an A24 film, which there's
probably a lot of them under.
There's a lot of A24 films on this list, so just know that I'm a shill for them. So I love them.
All right, next up for me is another superhero flick, Wonder Woman.
Wow, you and superhero movies.
On my my top 15.
Yeah, you're just into cape shit.
Which is funny because I don't typically see myself as a connoisseur of superhero movies. I think they're popcorn flicks, to be honest.
Pretty much.
But some of them can be good. Wonder Woman was good up until the final battle scene. The final battle scene was honestly kind of cheesy and really disappointing.
The CGI was so bad.
Yeah, and just the writing was kind of bad too. But for the rest of the film, Wonder Woman kind of saved the DC cinematic universe from being absolute garbage, but...
Yeah, they're what, 1 in 4?
Yeah. So, Wonder Woman was good. Yeah, Gal Gadot, is that how you pronounce her name? Gal Gadot?
Gadot.
I've heard it pronounced both ways, so...
I don't know.
Yeah. Anyway, she did a great job as Wonder Woman, so...
Yeah, it's a real big improvement from her acting like a cardboard cutout in Batman v Superman.
Yeah.
She really... I agree. I think she really came into her own in that movie, and I think that, she's probably the strongest thing about that movie was her. So I saw her in
and then she kind of goes down again in Justice League, unfortunately.
Yeah, I saw her in Batman v Superman, and I was like, you kind of act like you're a cardboard cutout personified. Like, a magical fairy Pinocchio'd her to life. But
in her own movie, she does very well.
Yeah, she did really good. As a leading lady, I think she just needed time to really get into acting. And I think she's good.
Yeah.
Anyway, moving on from there, here's the one film that people are going to fight me on, saying that this came out in 2016. But hey, it didn't get localized until this year, so you shut up. That is Your Name. It's... I think the last animated movie... No, not the last animated movie on this list. But it's an Animu movie. I
still have to see that.
It is so good. I'm not a big fan of anime, typically. I like the movies.
Me neither.
I hate the shows. They just go on for way too long, and they're so pointless. 3 episodes, people screaming at each other until they spend 20 minutes in one episode actually fighting.
Yeah.
I watched 300 episodes of Bleach, and I was like, what am I doing with my life? And that was in junior high, and I'm like, I can't do this. Like, why do people like this?
And then you got to take into account the incredible writing for some of those fight scenes.
It's
impossible. He's using his ultra...
It's over 9,000!
It's over 9,000!
And then you had the moment I gave up on Bleach is when they started bringing in vampires, and I was like, okay, I'm done. I'm done. I can't do this. But anyway, Your Name. It's beautiful. It's a science fantasy kind of romance movie. It's very unique, and it's really cool. There's a lot of elements of time, and there's a lot of heart and soul. The characters are very believable and interesting. Again, it's like Freaky Friday, but like on Xanax. Just take it like that. It's like Freaky Friday on Xanax, but it's also a romance movie, and it's actually well made. So
versus Freaky Friday.
Yeah, that movie's awful. I haven't seen it in years for good reason. But I highly recommend Your Name. The reason why it's on this list, why it's on 2017, was because it didn't get its full localization until this year.
Or until last year, technically, because this is 2018.
Duh, dude. We're 3 months in, and I'm still...
I almost wrote 2017 on a paper the other day when I think I was like signing in for something, but I almost wrote 2017.
Nice. So that's my number 12, Your Name. Loved it.
All right. So
highly recommend it.
Number 12 for me would be The Disaster Artist.
Hey, look, your first non-superhero movie.
Yeah, my first non-superhero movie. So, The Disaster Artist, it's a comedy, from what I've heard from you, Ethan, is that it's not very accurate.
Oh, not at all.
So, I can't say anything about the accuracy, but I really liked it just because James Franco does an incredible job as Tommy Wiseau.
Oh, yeah.
And it's incredibly funny.
Oh, yeah, it is. It's hilarious.
That's why it's my number 12.
I had a great time with it, but it's completely inaccurate. I still recommend reading the book or listening to the audiobook. Greg Sestero narrates the audiobook. I mean, he wrote the book, but he also reads it, and I think that, hearing everything kind of said through him reading his own words, I think it really
validates it. And,
validates, because I'm not a big fan of audiobooks, but that's one of the few I can listen to. It's one of the few I can listen to, and he does. With how much time he spends with Tommy, he has such a good Tommy impression. It's hilarious. It
I bet he does,
so
though.
accurate. It's hilarious.
Also, did you see that trailer for their new movie, Best Friends?
Yeah.
It actually looks halfway decent.
Well, it's separated in 2 volumes. So
I saw that.
Yeah, the first one's coming out soon, this March.
It is,
volume, and the next one's out in June. Yeah, one of the Cinemarks near us is actually going to be playing it. So we need to buy tickets.
We need to go see it. See if it's actually good or if it's just classic Tommy Wiseau.
Either way, I'm gonna have a blast.
I think so. Yeah. They actually made it look good though. So the trailer made it look good. I'm excited.
Yeah, at the screening I went to, because I went to go see The Room in the theater, which was amazing. The very first time I ever did that, and I want to do it again. It was so much fun. But at the very end they showed a trailer for Best Friends, and the whole theater was just screaming. We're like, yeah.
Man.
That was great.
All right.
So, my number 11 pick, after that tangent, is T2 Trainspotting. Again, I think that Danny Boyle is an amazing director. He's really good at what he does. I never thought we needed a sequel to Trainspotting. But it's actually a sequel that justifies itself, and in a really cool way. It's unique. But it's really familiar. It's a Trainspotting story, and it's kind of a miracle that everybody 20 years later is still alive and still acting.
So you probably, just from what I've heard of your reviews to me personally of T2 Trainspotting, it's a sequel that's actually needed.
Because at the end of
it's a good sequel.
Yeah, at the end of Trainspotting, if you've seen it, I don't know if you've seen it.
I haven't.
Speaking to a general audience here, if you've seen it, the ending is very open-ended. And so, but then the movie, it picks up, it shows stuff from the ending of the original Trainspotting to kind of give cues as to what our main character's doing now. And it takes place 20 years later, and it's really cool to see the state of how every character is by then. And it's a cool story. It's really good. Excuse me. If you really, really liked the original Trainspotting, like I did, I think you'd enjoy it. It's great. Cool. That's my number 11.
All right, so my number 11 is actually going to be Jumanji: Welcome to the Jungle, because it was it was actually a lot better than I anticipated.
Same here. I thought
Yeah.
I thought it was okay. It's like a solid 6 out of 10.
'Cause,
But
yeah,
it was
it's-
so
it's-
much better than I expected it
Yeah,
to
because
be.
like I saw the trailer and I was like, oh no,
Oh,
this is
the
gonna
trailer
be garbage.
was so bad. It was
And then I
so
watched it and it was
bad.
like the thing that I liked best about it is that they continued the legacy of the Jumanji game
pretty much.
in a very the way they transformed it into the cartridge was very clever.
Yeah.
I think that was a good direction that they went
Who
in.
plays board games anymore?
Yeah, then the game just opens up and there's a cartridge inside instead of the
Yeah.
actual board game. So I thought that was actually really good. And then just the acting's really funny. It's a really fun film to watch. So
It's still playing in most major theaters right now.
Mhm.
It came out early December, and it's still
dang,
in
people like
theaters.
it.
Well, it's still raking in money. Just this past weekend, it made $10 million in the box office.
Oh my gosh.
Seriously,
Man.
it is The Rock's biggest movie now.
Really?
Seriously,
Holy cow! I didn't know that.
it is huge.
Because I think that's just probably due to the fact that there's a lot of people who saw the original Jumanji with Robin Williams and
Uh-huh.
absolutely loved it because I know I did, even though it gave me nightmares. And they were expecting this one to be bad, but then they found that they actually enjoyed it. So and
Yeah.
they probably went to go see it multiple times. I haven't seen it the second time since, but I liked it.
Quickly, I'm just gonna. The Cinemark app's gonna work. I'm gonna look. Okay, no, they're not playing Jumanji anymore. They're still playing The Greatest Showman though, at our local Cinemark. So.
Oh, that's been a huge one, especially for here in Utah.
Oh yeah. Number 10.
All right, number 10.
Next A24 film, A Ghost Story.
Hmm.
Really,
I haven't seen this one
It
yet.
is so cool. I have it on Blu-ray. I can lend it to you if you'd like.
Isn't it shot or like at least rendered in like a 4:3 aspect ratio, 4:4?
It is, yeah, it is. It's shot on film, and I think
Uh-huh.
it was shot on the appropriate. I think it's 8mm. I think it was shot on.
Wow. So it probably looks really cool.
It looks great. It's got the vignetted corners.
And not just a stupid premiere vignette, an actual vignette.
Yeah, it's an actual vignette. It was actually recorded on film, if I remember correctly. It is a beautiful movie. It's 90 minutes, but it is slow. It is very, very, very slow. And if you're someone who doesn't have patience, you're going to hate it. I've seen from like general audiences, there's a huge vocal backlash against the movie. Oh, it's so boring. Wow, I could stand in a sheet for 90 minutes and make a movie like this. Shut up. Shut up. This movie's beautiful and you're just retarded.
You are rarded.
You're rarded. But yeah, keep it short. It's really cool. It's got a very cool message and it's got a very cool story to it. It's mainly told through visuals. There's not a whole lot of dialogue in the movie. It's a film that's presented and it's...
So it's pure aesthetic.
Shut up. It's a story that's told through its visuals. And funny enough, I honestly believe that the aspect ratio really makes the movie. I think if they just like shot it in like regular widescreen, if they shot it on digital or something like that, I don't think it would have worked.
Just because of the style that it was.
Yeah,
that it was.
the style helps really encapsulate the film, and it, I think, with that personality that it has, I think it really is the centerpiece to the arch of the film. I think without that, I don't think the film would have worked.
Alright, so that was your number 10, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so now my number 10. Let me decide here, because Star Wars is next up on my list, but I think I like Star Wars more than some of these other 4-star ones.
Star Wars.
So number 10 is probably going to be Get Out. Because Get Out, the thing that makes me enjoy it is that it was not only funny, but it was actually like also very creepy at the same time.
Yeah, I didn't think it was scary, but
It was creepy for sure.
Yeah, it had some interesting.
It was clever,
elements.
and I wanted more at the end.
Yeah.
It ended too soon. I wanted to see more, and I've heard that there's like alternate endings and stuff like that, which
Yeah,
really
I've
makes
seen
me excited. So
have you seen the alternate?
I have
ending?
not. I need to buy the DVD or the Blu-ray.
I have the Blu-ray for it. I watched the alternate ending, and yeah, it's complete. It like throws the whole film in like another weird light. It's cool.
Huh. So yeah, I'm gonna have to watch that. So
It's
yeah.
like the complete opposite of the ending happens from the actual ending of the movie. no spoilers, but let you dwell on that. The exact
Now I'm
opposite
gonna have to go
ends.
buy it.
Yeah, it's cool. It's a cool alternate ending. I like the ending that they had though, but the alternate ending is pretty cool.
All right, so yeah, that's my number 10. Get Out.
Yeah, great directorial debut from Jordan Peele though. I'm
Sure.
I'm really excited to see what he does next.
I wonder if he's gonna stay horror, or if he's gonna do probably more comedy.
He's shown that he's had real good directing chops, and I think
He
that's really cool. I didn't think I was really skeptical on how he was gonna like translate over to directing, and yeah, he did a lot better than what I expected. It was, wow, that was really good.
Well, if you ever saw Key and Peele on YouTube, I mean,
yeah,
they're pretty good. So
I went to go see it with my mom actually, and when we left the theater, we were both like, wow, we were both really impressed because I took my mom and I was like, yeah, you want to just go see this trashy horror movie? And she's like, yeah, sure, whatever. And we left the theater and we're like doing the big think, like, thinking emoji. Yeah, it was good.
You ever watch PewDiePie and when he does the sound and his editor makes it like all
I think.
vortex, like But yeah, anyway. So that was my number 10. You're number 9 now.
My number 9 is Logan.
Logan.
That movie's so good.
Logan was beautiful.
Yeah, I love it. It's very well shot, very well edited. Oh, Hugh Jackman and Patrick Stewart were just yes. they hit all the perfect notes. Their performances were amazing. The writing was great.
The writing was incredible. What's the name of the little girl? I don't know her name.
I don't know her name either.
But she's probably the best child actor
Daphne
I've
Kane.
Daphne Kane. She's probably the best child actor I've ever seen on screen.
Exactly.
She's incredible.
Yeah, they even got a good performance out of Stephen Merchant. I mean, don't get me wrong. I think Stephen Merchant's a good writer, but so far he hasn't really starred in anything good. But I mean, his work in Logan was actually great.
Who did he play?
He was the guy who was sensitive to sunlight.
That guy. He was actually pretty good.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah.
And because I've seen many other movies that he stars in, he's not very good. But he's a good writer. I think he's written episodes of The Office and stuff.
Oh, really?
I think. Don't quote me on that. But he has written like popular television shows and stuff, and he's a very good writer. But he hasn't translated well into acting until this movie. I think he did a really good job there. I think he just needs a really good director because he's worked with directors that just are kind of hacks and aren't very good. If he has a good director working with him, I think that he can really shine. And he does in Logan. I still need to watch the noir version. I have it. I have the Blu-ray.
Me too. Yeah.
I need to watch the noir version. I'm going to, and I'm excited to.
So yeah, Logan. That's probably going to be in my top 5.
Oh yeah.
So number 9 for me.
Thinking.
Because there's a lot of them right here that I do like.
Thinking. I'm thinking.
Number 9 is gonna be the Batman movie, Lego Batman movie.
I think we've already said our piece on that.
Yeah, because you already talked about it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
that
that's
was my
right.
number
So-
15.
Yeah. So yeah, that was a good one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, number 8 for you.
Excuse me. Sorry, I ate lunch before I came over here. Phantom Thread.
What an interesting movie.
I really liked it. My only issue is just the ending just kind of left me very confused. And I'm okay with like endings that are open to interpretation, but the ending, like, it clearly has a way to put it. Mm-hmm. Funny enough, this was my first Paul Thomas Anderson film.
Same with me.
I have never seen Boogie Nights or Saint Vincent. Is that a movie of his? I believe.
I'm not sure.
But yeah, I mean,
I know he's held in high regard.
He is, and I think for good reasons. This movie is very well directed.
It's very well directed and very well done. But for me, I actually didn't enjoy it as much as some of these other ones, just because it wasn't my. I don't know.
It's another very slow movie.
The style and the atmosphere wasn't for me. I don't think. But
I loved it.
But I cannot deny that it was done very well.
Oh
so,
yeah, it is.
Yeah.
It is pure craftsmanship.
Mm-hmm. It's a high quality film, but it just doesn't fit. It just didn't fit my personal liking. But I still gave it a 4 stars just because of how well done it was.
I gave it a 4.5. I liked the movie more than you did.
That is true.
Wow, that's that's almost never happens. But anyway. But yeah, I still love it. writing's great. My only real complaint with the movie is that the ending is just so confusing, and it does at some points get slow to the extent
Could you call that like the ending? Could you call that like a kink?
I don't know. I don't know if I want to. That's creepy. But
Because I think that's kind of what it was going for.
kind of. But also just kind of the pacing. I'm okay. I'm all good. I'm all good with slow movies. I have tons of slow movies on this very list. But it just kind of got to a point where I kind of just sat there like tapping my toes a little bit, kind of like, okay, let's kind of move on. But I only had that happen like once until the movie kind of just exploded towards the end. I was like, whoa, okay, all right, I'm here. We're good. Let's go. Holy crap. Yeah, let's do this, man. And the last thing I'm going to say, Daniel Day-Lewis. Oh, yes. That man. He's such a good actor, and it's sad. He says that this is his final film. Daniel Day-Lewis.
That's true, yeah.
No! You're so good! Why?
I heard he stayed in character for like the entirety of the
Yeah,
filming.
so did I. I wonder how annoyed everyone got with him by the end.
Because his character was honestly kind of pissy.
He's a pompous douchebag. And, yeah, it's cool. I'm not going to go into any further. See it
Because
for
we're not in the
yourself.
top 5 yet.
See it for yourself. There's some cool elements and some interesting things to pick up on in there. And some excellent filmmaking.
For sure.
Yes. So that's my number 8.
All right, my number 8, I'm jumping forward on this list I'm looking at here a little bit. I'm going to say It, because It was... I love horror films.
Yeah.
But sadly, there's not a lot of good horror films. And I think It is a good horror film.
Yes.
It's got some great direction. It's got some great acting. It's got
Yeah.
elements of nostalgia. I love the 80s style of it. And, forgot his name. Bill Skarsgård.
Yeah.
Did
Okay,
an
because I'm like, who are you talking about? You're talking
Bill
about Pennywise?
Skarsgård did an incredible job as Pennywise.
Oh, yeah.
I've seen bits and pieces from the original It, the TV series, and Tim Curry's great and all, but Pennywise is obviously a better Pennywise. I mean, but Bill Skarsgård is obviously a better Pennywise.
Yeah, I watched the whole mini-series. It's just like 2 episodes, essentially. 3 hours. It feels like 3 hours. But I'll tell you, the first part is actually really good. With the kid actors and everything. Seth Green is in it. I don't know if you knew that.
I don't know who Seth Green is off the top of my head.
He's a writer for Robot Chicken. He's
okay.
He's if I were to show you a picture of him, you'd be like, "Oh yeah, I know that guy."
I probably would, but I just can't remember. I can't think of him off the top of my head.
Yeah, he's pretty famous. He played as Richie. I want him to play as adult Richie in the sequel. It.
That could be cool.
That would be
Really
amazing.
cool, actually.
That would be amazing.
But
I really liked the movie too. It's not top 15 for me. It's close. It's very, very close.
Mm-hmm. It's definitely top 15 for me. I loved it to death.
Yeah.
I saw
it to death. It was so original.
Okay, so I follow several of the Stranger Things cast on Instagram, and I saw on Finn Wolfhard's story he was hanging out with Wyatt Oleff.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So I'm thinking, is that little something? Are they going to do like a little callback piece before they go into the adult?
Well,
part
from what
of
I heard,
it?
from what I heard, that they still like the kids are still cast for the second movie.
So yeah, they were probably.
I think they're probably going to do some flashbacks and stuff for it. And rumor has it that I know we're going way too in depth into this, but rumor has it that Jessica Chastain, right? Jessica Chastain, yeah, she's going to be playing as adult Beverly.
Good choice, I think.
I really think so too.
Yeah,
that would be really cool.
Because like my favorite movie that Jessica Chastain's in that I've seen is Interstellar.
Oh yeah,
she does incredible in that.
Oh
so, yeah. I think she'll, and then as the older version of Sophia Lillis, I think she kind of fits it.
Yeah, I mean, especially with the red hair.
Yeah, red hair especially.
Yeah, I think it really matches, and Jessica Chastain's an amazing actress. She's really good, and it'd be cool to see her there.
Yeah, number 8. It. Yep. Okay. Next.
7. Dunkirk. Yeah.
I still haven't seen this one.
You still haven't seen Dunkirk.
I need to go buy it.
Yeah. The sad thing is, I think you really missed the opportunity to see it the best way possible.
But on the contrary, I have a friend who owns an
home
incredible
theater.
home theater. Like
Yeah.
the best that I've ever seen anything. I saw Blade Runner again for that one movie I was talking about earlier.
Yeah.
I saw Blade Runner and his home theater is absolutely marvelous.
Oh, I
so
bet.
I'm gonna have to watch Dunkirk in there.
Yeah, it's a movie that needs to be watched on the biggest screen possible. I didn't see it in IMAX, although I would have loved to, and I didn't. There was like one screening somewhere, I can't remember where it was in our state, but they were they were showing it in
35 millimeter.
I think it was 35 millimeter.
It was in Ogden, I think, or somewhere over there.
And I missed that. I was like, oh, I really wanted to see that in 35 millimeter.
I think
it would have
that
been
was-
amazing.
I think that was in the Ogden's Egyptian Theater.
Oh, yeah, it was.
Yeah.
Yeah, so...
Yeah, so I remember seeing. Yeah, they showed it. there.
yeah, but yeah, Dunkirk's great. Christopher Nolan's direction's really cool. There's not like
I'm such a big fan of Chris Nolan, and I haven't seen Dunkirk yet. I'm the worst fan.
It's another one of these visual kind of movies. It's the
I love visual
The
movies.
movie is told well. The story is told through the visuals primarily. There's not a whole lot of dialogue in it.
Mm-hmm.
There's no real antagonist. You don't really. Funny enough, you don't see a single Nazi soldier until the actual very very end of the movie, and he's out of focus.
Wow, that's interesting. That's really
You don't
interesting.
see the fear. You don't see the antagonist. The antagonist of the movie is primarily fear.
I
And
like
it's
that.
really cool. Yeah, it's really interesting in that regard. I know a lot of people kind of like, oh, there's no real characters in the movie and there's no real antagonist. No, I really like the more unconventional way that they told the story in that it's more of a visual movie and there's not a whole lot of character in it. But the antagonist is not really there, but it's just tension, and it just builds, and it builds, and it builds, and it builds.
I've heard that's also attributed to Hans Zimmer's soundtrack.
Yes, stopwatches.
Yes. He uses clocks a lot in Interstellar too.
Yeah, and
Especially for the wave planet scene.
yeah. Oh yeah, I
Yeah,
remember
the clocks.
Yeah,
Time's a very interesting element to keep in mind when making a movie, I think. Especially if you can take it on in a unique way, such as Interstellar or Dunkirk does, probably.
I think you'd love Dunkirk.
I'm positive I'd love Dunkirk because I just love Christopher Nolan. So.
Oh yeah.
All right, so that was your number 7. My number 7. Ooh, this is getting really tough. It's getting really tough now. War for the Planet of the Apes. Both of us saw the triple feature for the Planet of the Apes series. I already really enjoyed Dawn and Rise, but War for the Planet of the Apes was a great ending to the trilogy. Andy Serkis is incredible as Caesar, and like it's probably some of the best CGI I've seen in really any movie ever.
Oh yeah,
because the apes are just it's almost. I don't want to say uncanny because a lot of CGI falls into uncanny valley, but it's incredibly realistic. The CGI, I really liked it, and just the themes that were present. Some of the one-on-one scenes with the girl that they found.
Yeah,
the scenes where she was involved. Just the overall atmosphere of that movie was awesome. So
yeah, I think that there's a couple things I think that kind of. It's not perfect by any means.
Mm-mm.
There's a good chunk of issues that I have with the movie, but yeah, nevertheless, it's still really good. And I still love Andy Serkis.
And I just really love movies that talk about that have like that talk about war and the reality of it, while also taking place in a post-apocalyptic setting, because it's really hard, I think, in this time period to do a good post-apocalyptic film.
Yeah.
Because so many people are addicted to that aesthetic that there's so many people who do it horribly.
Uh-huh.
But if you can make a post-apocalyptic film without your main character wearing a gas mask, you know, and actually introduce some really good themes that attribute to humanity and war, then I think you've got a strong story there.
Yeah.
It's post-apocalyptic films don't always have to be about walking around in a forest in the winter wearing a gas mask and a trench coat. So
Yeah.
yeah, that's my number 7.
All right, my number 6 is The Killing of a Sacred Deer. I watched this one just recently, and it is very unique and interesting. I can't remember the director's name, but he also directed The Lobster. I don't know. I don't think you've seen that movie. I haven't either, but it's...
They have near identical movie posters.
Yeah, and they both have the same actor in it, leading actor.
Oh,
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
Colin Farrell.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the director, his name is Yorgos Lanthimos.
That's probably why you couldn't remember his name.
Yeah, and I was like, oh, what's his name? Oh, yeah, it's some foreign name.
Foreign directors, though.
No, yeah. I mean, this movie is amazing, though. It is so cool. It's very unique, very interesting. It's got the kid from Dunkirk in it, one of the boat kids. He's the antagonist of the movie. The antagonist is a 17-year-old boy.
Interesting.
And it's weird. It's a weird movie. Like, it starts off kind of normal, and you're like, okay, like, this is interesting, but the performances are strange. Yorgos really has a way of directing his actors to make them feel human, but very uncomfortable. Even like the protagonists of the movie, they talk in a very weird way. And everybody speaks with like the kind of the same cadence, and then they stop, and then there's a pause, and then someone responds. It's very strange dialogue, and the way that people talk to each other, it's very weird, very unique. And at first, I was like, I don't really know, but after a while, like, it really grew on me, and it really became very interesting. It has the most, it has the biggest scene in a while, where the biggest white knuckle scene I've been in a while, where like my fists are clenched, I'm so tense, and I'm like, what's gonna happen? It's the biggest tension I've had since the final battle scene in The Revenant. That final battle scene in The Revenant had me just gripped, like I was gripping to my bed as I was watching it. And I was like, oh, my knuckles were turning pale, and it was tense, and it's supposed to be like so gripping, and when you hear the gunshots in the scene, I'm not going to explain it, but every single one of them made me jump in a good way. Because it's like, but you're like, what happened? But then you see what happened, you're like, then they do it again, and it's like, it plays with you.
I really want to see this now.
It plays with you. It is so good. It is a psychological thriller. And I love
psychological thrillers.
And it is amazing. And the ending is just so bone-chilling. And the soundtrack, there's a lot of opera in it. And
that's unnerving.
And they play it so well. It's such a good movie. Yes, I love it. It's released by A24, obviously. And it is... Oh, yes, it is...
The heroes of unconventional filmmaking.
Yes. It's my second favorite film that they released last year. And it is so good. You need to get your hands on it. I bought it on Blu-ray. That was one of the... I don't spend a whole lot on Blu-rays, but that was one I spent the full $20 on. And I don't regret it. That was amazing.
Alrighty, so that was your number 6?
Yes.
Okay. My number 6 is gonna have to be Lady Bird.
We kind of already talked about that, didn't we?
Yeah, we already kind of talked about it. I guess the other thing that I could probably add to it is that I saw Saoirse Ronan perform in City of Ember, which the movie was... The books were good. Movie was meh. She did a good job in her role in City of Ember, though. She's always been a great actress.
Yeah.
So that's just my take. That's just my take to it. Is Saoirse Ronan is incredible. So yeah.
My number 5, last A24 films. Y'all can get off my back. Is Good Time. This movie was a good time. You haven't heard that joke before, but yeah, it is. It's insane. It's another very tense, gripping kind of action movie.
Kind of action.
Kind of. I don't really know. It is a thriller. It's drenched in neon. and the soundtrack is just absurd. It's like from experimental electronic artist Tricks Point Never. The soundtrack is so cool. It's very glitzy, very distorted, very menacing, but it fits the tone of the movie and it fits the visuals with the bright neon visuals that are all over the movie.
That sounds like my type of movie.
Yeah, and here's the thing, as a sentiment to how good the movie is, the director, I mean, this is made by the Safdie brothers, Benny and
Raffi? No, just kidding. That's the fine.
Joshua Safdie. What's interesting is that Ben Safdie, if I remember correctly, he directs the movie. He's an actor. He plays the main character in the movie. He also helped edit the movie, and he also wrote it too. He directed, wrote, and edited and starred in it. Yeah, and he did a really good job. I was like, wow, you did really good, dude. It was nuts. Yeah,
that's something that's something that I aspire to be, because I don't know if we mentioned this in our first upload to the channel, but I'm a filmmaker.
Yeah,
and that's one of my aspirations, is to be good at like
a jack of all trades.
Well, typically, I mean, mainly just writing, directing, and acting.
Yeah.
So I haven't been in front of the camera in forever, but I've been behind the camera and writing stuff for a very long time. So
yeah, it's good. I think it'll pull a lot of inspiration for you. It's also filmed in a very unique way. It has a lot of close-ups, and it works. And the thing is that another movie I can think of that has a lot of close-ups is like Alien Resurrection, and that movie is abysmally terrible. And one of the reasons why I hated it so much was because the cinematography was just so terrible. I mean, there are so many other reasons, but I hated all the close-ups, and they had a lot of zoom shots, like zooming into people's faces.
Oh, but that's cringy. I don't like that unless it's comedy.
But Good Time does it in a very good way, and it surprised me. I don't know. It's...
Because I typically
cool.
don't like. I typically don't like quick zooms unless they're like in comedy.
There's not a whole ton of zooms. It's more. It's like it feels like a very manual, because a lot of the camera is handheld.
Yeah.
There's not a whole lot of like where a camera's set down on a tripod or something like that. There are shots like that, but a lot of it is very handheld. And a lot of the zooms, they kind of feel like that documentary type zoom, where like kind of like brings in, and I don't really know how to explain it with words, but
I get what you're saying, though.
Yeah,
but
it's done in a really cool way, and there's a lot of close-ups in the movie, and it works. It's amazing. Robert Pattinson is in it, Twilight fame, and that guy has proven to be an amazing actor. He is so good. It's so sad that he has all those Twilight movies that kind of.
He's also in Harry Potter.
Yeah,
he plays Cedric Diggory. Yeah. I mean, he does good until he dies. So
I don't even remember him in those movies. So
I do, because I'm just a huge Harry Potter geek. So
yeah. But I'm so excited to see what the Safdie brothers do next. I'm so excited to see what Robert Pattinson's in next.
Subscribe.
Yeah, it's great.
Subscribe to the Safdie brothers.
So yeah, my number 5 is Good Time.
Alrighty, so now we're getting to the top 5. So
yeah, boy.
Next up on my top 5, ooh, this is difficult. Let me count here. Oh, there's 6. There's 6 that I want to talk about. I'm gonna have to drop one. Okay, I'm gonna put this in the number 1 of my honorable mentions. Shape of Water is gonna be in my number 1 of honorable mentions, because these other ones I just love too much. Yeah. So number 5 for me is going to be Baby Driver.
Yeah, our top films are very, 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 very similar. So
yeah. So Baby Driver. Edgar Wright is an incredible director.
Wait, is this your number 5?
Yes.
Wow.
Yes. This is my number 5. So
okay.
Baby Driver it's just so much fun to watch, because the editing is on point. Edgar Wright is an incredible director. All the performances. Ansel Elgort is remarkably good.
Isn't this nominated for best editing?
Yes, it was.
I swear, if this does not win Best Editing, I'm throwing a fit. Because the editing in this movie, like, this movie, I mean, typically as a whole, movies are kind of made by the editing process. But, like, the stylistic editing, I can't remember who does the editing for Edgar Wright's films. It's all the same guy. But he is, like, top tier. He is probably my favorite editor working today. And funny enough, I still can't remember his name, but... but
whoever he is,
but he edited.
you have the Ethan Parker seal of approval.
Yeah, he edited all the other films from Edgar Wright. I mean, he did Hot Fuzz, Shaun of the Dead, Scott Pilgrim vs. the World. So that typical kind of editing style that you see in those movies, where it's almost kind of fourth wall breaking in a way, very stylistic, and it carries over to here, and it is amazing.
The thing that made me put this in my top 5 immediately when I saw it was the very first scene.
Oh yes, the first 6 minutes of
scene.
this movie. Oh, like I went into the movie and I had such high expectations. I saw the trailers and I saw it was coming from Edgar Wright, and I was like, this thing better be amazing. It's going to be amazing. And when I finally sat down in the theater, I was so nervous. But then, right from the get-go, I was, yes. So much yes. And then when the movie ended, and as the people were leaving, I sat there in my seat and I was like, oh, can I watch that again? Like, I want to watch it again. Because
it's like a good roller coaster. Because it's like a good roller coaster. Yes. It's like you get done with it and you're like, I want to do that again. Let's go again.
It's a movie that's just simply fun.
It's a thrill ride, yeah.
It is.
Because like
it's nothing. It's nothing much more than fun. And it is a film to just bring a bunch of guys over and with beers and pizzas and stuff, and you just have a blast.
And you just sit there
and it's not
just bell bottoms.
It's not in the not like the beer and pizza kind of movie as, say, a movie like Jason X is or something, or like a movie that's like really terrible. But yeah, it's something that's
well done, but also like but it's also a popcorn flick at the same time.
It is.
It's in this.
It came out in the summer. It came out in May. So
in this list of like films that are very intellectual or very like what was that?
Someone sent you something on Facebook.
No. Yeah. Anyway, in this list of films that are like very slow, very intellectual, very smart, very clever, you've got Baby Driver, which is obviously very clever, but at the same time, it's just something that you don't really have to put much like brain power into, and you can enjoy. But it's done very, very well.
Oh, yeah.
As opposed to other movies that you can just kind of sit back and enjoy. But
yeah, it's a film that rewards you as much of sitting there paying close attention to it as it is if you just like lay back.
Exactly, because you can enjoy the film incredibly. You can I can't talk, but you can really, really enjoy the film if you just sit back and enjoy it. But if you pay attention, you'll notice how good the editing is and just how good
the long takes that they have and just
exactly. You'll notice stuff about it if you pay attention to it, but you can just as easily enjoy it just sitting there and viewing it. So.
That movie is amazing. I loved Baby Driver.
Yes, these top the top 5 are like all like they're my top 5, but they're tied for number 1. Honestly, actually no, they're tied for number 2, and then the obvious number 1 is obvious number 1. But yes,
we both know what our number 1s are. They're the same. So, my number 4 is Coco.
I cried like a baby.
I did too.
Oh my gosh, this film.
It's Pixar.
Yeah.
Like, it's good Pixar. It's not like Cars Pixar or something.
That's true. I was just going to say Pixar can't make a bad film, and then you look at Cars 2 and go, well...
Yeah, well... Cars 2 is so bad.
And you're like, okay, yeah, Pixar's not perfect, but I mean...
Pistachio ice cream. Oh, it's wasabi.
I don't even remember that because
that's the only scene I really remember.
I just remember Finn McMissile being pretty much like James Bond, so...
Finn McMissile? Is that the bad guy?
No, he's like the missile guy dude with the mustache. He's like the spy leader.
God, it just tells you how forgettable that movie is.
I don't remember what scene you're talking about, and you don't remember Finn McMissile, which is the part I remember because he was so like James Bond, but... Yeah, and then the fact that Mater was just kind of turned into a hero for the sake of fan service, I think.
Anyway.
It was just so tonally inconsistent from the first one.
Yeah. Anyway, Coco.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah, we're talking about Cars. What the heck?
Yeah.
Coco.
Yeah. This is top tier Pixar. This is
up there with the likes of Up.
Yes, 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 yes. This is the Pixar that actually cares about what they're doing, and the visuals of the movie are striking and amazing. I watched it.
Gorgeous.
Watched it in the
film.
theater, and it was just it just soaked me in. It was amazing.
From the minute he walks across the bridge and sees the city, like you're like,
Yes,
oh,
yes,
it's so
yes.
pretty.
They talked about before the movie even started, like
Millions and millions of little lights.
Yeah,
And it's like
insane.
individually rendered, and you're like, oh my gosh.
Yeah, that's
Like
there's
I dabbled
that's
I
the-
dabbled in 3D stuff in digital media class in high school, and just to think that they individually like crafted these millions of lights just blows my mind.
yeah they
It's
Yeah.
something that I would not be willing to put in the time and effort to do.
and it pays off. See,
It definitely pays
See,
off.
the thing is, there's a lot of people who complain about Pixar and are like, oh, they always get such high praise. And blah, blah. Well, because they're the only animation studio that seems to actually care. Mm-hmm. They're the only animation studio that puts in the work, they put in the time, they put in the dedication, they put in the budget, and it shows.
And the budget shows
And-
too. It's not
exactly.
like it's not like in
It's
other movies where
like
they
an
dump
Illumination film
where they-
or
yeah.
something from Sony Animated Studios.
where they dump so much money into the animation, and it's not very good.
Yeah,
you know?
and that's the only thing they really spend money in. Well, and even then, they barely spend anything. I mean, an Illumination film, they usually don't cost any more than $75 million, which is cheap. The Emoji Movie was made on a budget of $50 million. That just tells you, like, how cheap and lazy most of these films are. But
Yeah.
Coco had the time, had the money, had the dedication, had people who cared about the culture, had people who cared about the art of filmmaking, they cared about the art of animation, and made a film that is beautiful beyond any recognition. I mean, your kids are obviously going to really like it. The pretty colors and, oh, look, there's a little cute little dog. But there's a very deep and emotional story to really pull
yeah.
out of it, too. I cried a couple times. I think 3, 4 times.
It was hard to keep the tears inside your eyes.
Yeah, I was crying, especially at the end of the movie. I was like, oh, I'm crying.
That scene made me cry the most. I was just like,
And
I was like, I'm not gonna cry. I'm not gonna cry.
I'm not going to cry.
And then I cried.
Was it Giacchino who did the score? Yes.
Yeah, Michael
Giacchino. I love that man.
Giacchino.
Giacchino, whatever. Dude, he is an amazing composer. I love his
he is.
work. He is so good at what he does.
A good friend of mine, Elias is a friend of mine. He does compositions for my short films, honestly, and that's his favorite composer is Michael Giacchino.
Yeah.
And for good reason. I mean,
Giacchino, like most other composers, has a couple stinkers. I mean, I thought his Rogue One score was pretty.
he scored Rogue One.
Yeah, and he also scored Spider-Man: Homecoming, which was pretty forgettable. But that's a superhero movie, and most of those scores are pretty forgettable.
Yeah, to be honest.
yeah.
Brutally honest here.
Yeah, but when
unless it's the Avengers, which has a theme to it.
yeah,
'Cause
but
yeah.
and but the thing is that Giacchino he puts in the work, he makes a good score. He scored most of, I think, 2 of the Planet of the Apes movies. I think he scored the final 2 ones. Dawn and War. I think he scored both of them, and it shows. I mean, he's a great composer, and his work in Coco also just elevates that movie even more. The original songs made for the movie are great.
Because what's unique about him is that he doesn't just stick to the traditional like symphonic orchestra
I mean,
layout of stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, he utilizes it, but he experiments is the cool part.
And he uses a lot of...
He incorporates lots of different styles.
Lots of guitars, a lot of strings in there, and it fits because you have the
and he has a lot of
Mexican
character to his
culture.
sound. Yeah.
The Mexican culture that's really highlighted.
Oh, but I was
in the
talking
movie.
in general just about Giacchino. Is that he characterized like for his good soundtracks, he likes to characterize them and he likes to experiment with different types of styles and instruments and stuff. He doesn't just stick to the orchestral, formulaic score.
Exactly.
He really likes to experiment. That's what's super cool about Giacchino. And I mean then obviously with Coco, he incorporates the cultural aspect of it. He has a lot of guitars and all that stuff, and I mean he does an incredible job.
Exactly.
So
yeah, loved it. Mm-hmm. Coco was amazing.
Coco was amazing, and that's in my probably top 3. But next up for me is gonna be Logan. This is technically tied with Baby Driver.
Yeah,
but because because it's just hard to determine. Like once you get up to this part of the ranking system, it's hard to determine really. Logan's tied with Baby Driver because Baby Driver was incredibly fun to watch, but Logan, the reason why I placed this Logan above Baby Driver at this point in time when we're doing this podcast is because I've recently finished The Last of Us, and Logan definitely had a The Last of Us vibe.
Yeah, it's the closest I think we're gonna get to a Last of Us movie.
Yeah.
It's great.
We already talked about it. This is another one of those post-apocalyptic films that does it well.
Yeah, it does it right on the gimmick of being a post-apocalypse. Well, it's not a post-apocalypse. It's not a post-apocalypse though.
Yeah, I think it is. It's after the apocalypse of all of the other X-Men kind of dying.
Oh
off,
yeah,
so.
I mean, like the world is still like functioning. I think.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like nuclear wasteland, you know, overrun by, you know, fungal clickers and stuff like that. But I would classify it as a post-apocalyptic film in the context that it's in. The world is not dead per se, and it's not like over, but it's just for the superheroes, for the X-Men. Most of them have died off or been killed off, and he's kind of like the last man standing, and he goes on this adventure with this girl that he kind of ends up and grows to care about in a similar way as, you know, as he would a daughter. And it's just really moving, I think, in a similar way that The Last of Us was. And I just like the desert, the whole deserty feel and stuff, and I just really liked it. It was cool.
Yeah. So my number 3 is Baby Driver. We already talked about it.
Mm-hmm.
Don't need to say anything more.
My number 3 is Coco. We already talked about that. So
don't think there's anything you need to say more about that.
So yeah, number 2 I think is the same for both of us.
Yes. Call Me By Your Name.
Oh,
yep. Yes. Oh my.
This is a brilliant film.
Yes.
Both of us earlier today were listening to how do you say his name?
Sufjan Stevens.
Sufjan Stevens. The
Visions of Gideon
and
Mystery of
Love and all that stuff. And I've just listened to his other stuff as well.
Oh yeah, he's a great artist.
Yeah, that's part of why I love Call Me by Your Name so much, is just the soundtrack that it's set to.
Yeah, a mixture of songs from Sufjan Stevens and other like piano compositions from other people, and yeah, it's utilized in an amazing way.
Yeah, and so for me, I part of my childhood took place in Italy, actually, because my dad was military, and we didn't just decide. I mean, we could have stayed on base housing, but we didn't. We stayed off of base, and so we had a lot of experience with the cultural side of Italy. We were exposed to just a lot of that. We went on vacations a lot. We visited Venice, you know. We visited Pompeii. Visited, you know, all these different. We visited Rome. All these different parts of Italy that are just so pretty, so beautiful.
Yeah.
And so that is then tied into the nostalgia factor, because I was so young when we lived there. Revisiting this film, but the Italian imagery, you know, the indie nostalgic soundtrack by Sufjan Stevens and the other stuff.
Yeah.
It just made this film just a huge nostalgia trip for me. And then you put in the themes of first love, and obviously neither of us are gay, but it doesn't matter whether or not. I mean, obviously people are going to be upset the fact that, you know, it's a gay story, and it's a story that people are calling pedophilic.
Yeah, I saw,
but
I can't remember. I talked to my father about this movie because the first time I went to go see it, I told him all about it and how much I loved it. Mm-hmm. He's like, yeah, I remember he carpools with a bunch of coworkers to go to work. See, he has to drive like over an hour to get to work, like every day. And so he carpools, and like someone was like listening to Glenn Beck as he's like, man, this movie, Call Me by Your Name, it's pedophilia. Man, don't see it. It'll corrupt the young minds. My dad was like, he already knew it was like BS, and then I told him all about it, and I just gushed over the movie, how beautiful it was, and he's like, I just think that's funny that, you know, like, you know, how much complaining from that, and then I hear everything from you, and you're just like in love with this movie, and I'm like, yes, because it's so good.
That's funny, because like my dad listens to conservative voice, talk shows and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I think he listens to like Rod Arquette, I think, and all the shows that he listens to regularly, they actually liked Call Me by Your Name.
Oh, really?
Which is interesting.
Yeah, I mean,
because I heard Glenn Beck hated it, but from what I heard from what my dad heard on the radio is that he heard good things about the movie from his conservative talk shows, which is interesting. Because
it's a very, very well acclaimed movie. And for very good reason. Mm-hmm. Again, the cinematography is great.
Oh, yes.
Editing is good. It's a very slow paced film. The writing is very great.
It just makes your heart ache.
The acting is impeccable.
The acting is some of the best acting I've seen in like the last couple years. So
it is so good.
If not the last decade.
Armie Hammer and Timothée Chalamet were amazing. Please give
Timothée Chalamet has just jumped onto the scene. Like,
give Timothy his Oscar, please.
He just exploded out of nowhere because like I haven't heard of him since before Lady Bird. But then he's in Lady Bird. Yeah. He's in Call Me By Your Name, and he's in like one other. He's in Hostiles, which is for you like 2017, but classified as 2018.
Yeah, I mean,
yeah. But anyway,
spoiler alert: he dies like towards the beginning of the movie.
So it's not really a spoiler because he's not really an important character, which is kind of sad.
No, it's funny. I saw Timothy, and I was like, "Hey!" And
he's such a great actor.
15 minutes later, he dies. I'm like, "Oh."
That's what I thought too. I was like so ready. I was like, "Oh, Timothy's in here. This is gonna be great." And then he dies. I was like, "Oh."
Damon lasted longer than he did.
Meth Damon.
Meth Damon. Yeah, it's that guy who looks like Matt Damon on Meth. Do you remember him? You know his name?
That guy. Yes.
Yeah. I think he lasts longer than Timothy's character. I'm like, what? You kept Meth Damon alive longer?
Meth Damon. That's what I thought too when I saw his character. I was like, he looks like Matt Damon. Is he Matt Damon? I don't think he is. No.
That was the very first time I thought when I saw him. I can't remember what movie it was. It was like, what? Anyway.
But yeah, not Hostiles. Call Me By Your Name.
Yeah, Call Me By Your Name though. Yeah, it's great. I love it. Soundtrack's amazing. Cinematography, the color correcting is so good.
And I just loved the imagery of summertime in Italy.
Oh yeah,
everyone's just relaxing. You know, it was kind of funny. I was watching the Honest trailers for the Oscars or whatever.
I haven't watched that yet.
It's pretty funny because they when they start talking about Call Me By Your Name, they say during the time of the what do they say?
Don't
the shirt famine or whatever.
Oh,
of the Italian shirt famine or something like that. It's just kind of funny.
It's true.
Because like no one wears shirts in that movie.
Pretty much.
But that's what's so cool about it. That's what I liked that because it just has this air of just relaxation and some summertime getaway type thing, and that's something that I really want to have in my future is just to rent out some like villa in Italy and just chill, you know, walk around shirtless, shoeless, and this just Italian villa and just enjoy myself, you know. That's something I want to do.
The last two things I'm going to say about this movie before we move on. One, I think that the story itself is very relatable, and it's very it's very close to home to me in a lot of different ways. I'm not going to go into detail exactly why. I'm not going to spill my personal life into this. But that final monologue in the movie, if you've seen the movie, you know what I'm talking about. The final monologue given by the dad at the end of the movie, so much of that just hit me. And the last thing I'm going to say is that I cried like 3 times in this movie. And that was like the scene where I was already like really teared up and like, oh, but then as soon as that scene happened, I was like, you're getting my personal life into this, and I had tears flowing down my face. And then the ending was so sad as it is, and then you slowly hear that Sufjan Stevens song creep in. I'm like, no, don't you do this. No, Sufjan, I'm already crying, and then, I have loved you. No! I'm crying all over the place. The movie's over. I turned to the lady who was sitting behind me, and I was like, I'm not crying. And my eyes are just, like puffy red, and just, like snot's all boiling up in me, and she wiped away a tear, and she's like, that was beautiful. And I'm like, yeah. And I was having the sniffles all the way to my car, and I listened to the soundtrack on my way home, like while crying. So yeah, I had a great time.
But yeah, like what I found interesting about the ending of this is like a lot of films, they end with like a stylized like it's like a pre-credit scene or whatever, where it's like they roll credits, but it's like in a stylized way, and then they go to like the black and white, you know, just normal credits or whatever. This one does it in a way where it's just one long extended shot of of Elio.
Don't spoil anything.
But yeah,
Don't spoil
I'm not gonna really say like what context it is, but it's just one long shot of his face.
And it's the most and it's probably one of the most without a single word.
Without a single word is said.
It's some of the most like
the credits are going.
Acting I've seen.
Credits are going. Visions of Gideon is playing in the background.
Yeah, and when we went to go see it, I already ruined that sentence. When you, and I brought
Brad.
Friend Brad along with us. This lady was sitting right in front of, like, down at the first row. And I was looking, don't leave. And she gets up and leaves. Like, no, don't leave. Stay through the credits. If you're if you're listening to this and you haven't seen the movie yet, please, when you see it, like, watch through the credits. I know it's
or like
its theatrical
the
run.
pre-credits technically is what.
It's coming out on Blu-ray on the 13th. So
I'm buying.
Yeah, I know it's a day one buy for me. It's coming out on Blu-ray real soon, but I'm dead serious. Like, watch through the credits. I'm dead serious. It's amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Call Me by Your Name.
Yeah.
Such a beautiful film.
Number one, both of us.
Blade Runner 2049.
No, really.
Man.
This
is a good film.
Yeah, I loved it.
Because it's.
I don't want to go too long into it. I think because we've already spent more time than I really thought we should have. But
I don't want to gush about it. Though.
I know. I'll let you gush, but I'm just gonna keep my sentiments short and sweet, mainly just because I've already said all there is to say about this movie already. It's amazing. It's Roger Deakins' cinematography is. Give that man an Oscar. He is like the Leonardo DiCaprio. He's
of the cinematography world.
Well, yeah, he's the new Leonardo DiCaprio for the Oscars, where he's been nominated like 15 times and he still hasn't won.
Yeah,
he's sad. He's one of the best cinematographers today. Visual effects are just wow, they're stunning, amazing. The story is really cool. It's a slow burn, very methodical, very immersive film. The first time I saw it, I didn't know, like, I liked it, but I didn't know exactly what to think of it. I left the theater, and I was doing the big think. And the thing was that I remember, because I saw, my screening was, like, at 5-something, like, almost 6 o'clock, or it was 6 o'clock. And I walked out of the theater, and it was, like, 9. And I looked at my watch, and I was like, what? I don't have a watch. I don't wear a watch. I looked at my phone. Retard. I got up way too early this morning for work, so bear with me. I checked my phone. I was like, whoa. Wow, it was that long? Well, it didn't feel that long. I was just sucked into it. And
it does suck you in.
Yeah, and the second time I watched it. The funny thing was, I went to go see it the night. I went home. I thought about it. I wrote something on Letterboxd about it. And then, like, the very next morning, I got up and I went to go see it again. And then when I came home, I was like, it's a masterpiece. Oh,
it really is, though.
This and that and the other. And, like, this was crazy. And,
actually,
like, my mother was just staring at me like, what? And I'm like, ah! I'm going crazy.
You just not going crazy about it. Your mom's like, you liked it, didn't you?
Yes. Denis Villeneuve is based God.
He is, though. Okay, what was I going to say? It was about the soundtrack. Because the soundtrack was friggin' incredible as well.
It's not as good as Vangelis' soundtrack for the original Blade Runner.
I personally, actually.
Okay.
They're very close. I do like 2049.
Listen to Blade Runner Blues again. Just that single track from the Vangelis score from the original. And then, like, I want you to look me dead in the face and tell me that you like Blade Runner 2049 soundtrack more.
Because like I like the sound design.
Yeah, don't get me wrong. The soundtrack's still amazing. I still think it's one of Hans Zimmer's best scores. I still think it's an amazing soundtrack. It really is. But like,
Blade Runner Blues? Are you talking about during the original Blade Runner during the monologue scene that plays?
No, it's a different scene.
Oh, what scene is it?
I'll have you hear it later.
Okay.
So then you'll be like, oh, okay, I get it.
But yeah, so. I loved both soundtracks because I'm just a real huge sucker for analog electronic music.
Oh yeah,
I just love it to death. Pilot, Come Trues, all that kind of stuff. But anyway, the soundtrack, the sound design of the second of 2049's. Here's where I'll say I like the sound design of the new soundtrack better than the old one, just because it's so like, it's in. What's a good word to describe it? Because it's not really brutal. It's not in your face, but it's like
Intense.
It's intense. It's very. It's like gritty, but in like a electronic way. I don't know how to say that, but
yeah,
because like you're sitting in the theater and you just feel the soundtrack, like the
foghorns,
and then like the
Hans Zimmer and foghorns,
just like the very abrasive analog synths just make the soundtrack so wonderfully like eargasmic to listen to.
Oh yeah.
I liked Blade Runner 2049 better than the original Blade Runner.
So did I.
So that's where I stand on that issue. I know that probably is very it's probably very what's the word for it?
Sacrilegious
But actually, for film buffs.
Well, excuse me, I dropped my phone. Funny enough, like I'm active a lot in
the film buff community.
Well, yeah, there's a Facebook group I'm in called Blade Runner Repla Posting.
Yeah.
And funny enough, in that group, about a month ago, someone ran a poll where we're voting, which one was better, the original or 2049, and the majority opinion was 2049. Like, it's not a controversial opinion to like 2049 more than the original.
Oh, I thought it was just because.
No, I mean,
just because there's that whole.
What I've seen.
Yeah, because there's that whole stigma that the original is always better,
Yeah, no, I will fully admit that 2049 is,
which I thought
as a cohesive as a cohesive film, 2049 is a better film. Mm-hmm. The original Blade Runner is still nothing short of a classic.
Of course, it's still five stars on Letterboxd for me.
Yeah,
so.
it's a flawed masterpiece. I still love it to death, but yeah, I mean the original I say is the original
because the way I describe it is that the original is atmospheric. It's weird, and the story is also weird. But it's amazing to watch at the same time.
Oh, yeah.
It gets kind of convoluted, though. It gets incredibly convoluted.
Yeah, and it kind of gets lost, and there's not a whole lot of plot in the movie. And I know a lot of people say, like, well, there's not a whole lot of plot in 2049. Like,
but there is, though.
But there is.
There is.
You need to pay attention.
Yeah, you have to pay attention because like when it gets to the end and it
a plot progressively happens through the movie and things happen. It's just slow.
Mm-hmm. Because she's like here's like where my difference lies is that when I watched Blade Runner, the original one, when it got to the end, like I wasn't like obviously I was moved by the speech because that speech, The Tears and Rain, is arguably one of the best monologues in cinema. But when it got to the end of 2049, I was caring so much for Kay that like when that reveal moment happens, I'm not going to spoil it, but there's a reveal, and you realize stuff. It's just like, oh, my heart! Like, just that was an emotional roller coaster. That was probably what must have been an incredibly emotional roller coaster for him. So
you look lonely.
Mm-hmm.
You look like a good Joe.
Look like a good Joe. Oh! And then I also wanted to say the other line, but I don't want to at the same time because I don't want to spoil anything.
Yeah, I can say good Joe without spoiling anything. So.
Mm-hmm. But the line that I'm talking about starts with all the, and then you know the rest. Anyone who's seen all the, I'll tell you later.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
All the best.
Yes, that line.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That line when that line was delivered, I was just like, oh man. But yeah. So yeah, Blade Runner 2049 is an absolute masterpiece.
Film of the year.
Film of the year. It's my number one easily. So
yeah,
by far.
It's made into my favorite films of all time.
Mm-hmm.
So,
what are some honorable mentions that you have?
I'm just gonna go over these really quickly because I'm pulled up my worst.
Just kind of just list them.
But yeah, I'm just gonna go real quick. Just some honorable mentions of mine. It, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2.
Same.
Get Out. War for the Planet of the Apes, John Wick Chapter 2, The Shape of Water, Meyerowitz Stories, New and Selected, Free Fire, Only the Brave. And those are about all of the, like, I'd say 4-star films, the 8 out of 10s
Honorable
that
mentions.
I have on my list
Mm-hmm.
that I would really kind of bother fully mentioning. Because other than that, we just get to films that are good but problematic, like Molly's Game and Okja and Spider-Man Homecoming and A Cure for Wellness and Captain Underpants movie To the Bone, Darkest Hour, all good movies, but each have like some pretty like big issues. But yeah, that's my list.
All right, so then some of mine are going to be Shape of Water was really good.
Yeah.
Greatest Showman, I personally liked it. I know you didn't.
Nope.
But I liked it. I'm just a sucker for movie musicals.
Yeah, I mean, I am too, but it still sucked.
And this one was, but like this one for me was just really motivating because it talks about like being an entertainer and a creator, and that's the path that I'm going on, and the difficulties you might face. And yeah, he overcomes them a little too easily, but it was inspiring for me. Phantom Thread is another one. Just not my thing. We talked about it. The Post was good.
I'm counting that as a 2018 movie.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I mean, you can do what you want, but
yeah.
the movie didn't get like its wide release until January, so.
True, yeah. But The Post, Steven Spielberg's pretty good. I mean, he's awesome, but I mean, Post was okay. Glass Castle made me cry like a baby. Not in my top 15, but made me cry like a baby. Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. Star Wars was a wild ride to watch. It was awesome.
It was good.
It was good, yeah.
Had a lot of problems.
And then
this isn't how we win wars, by destroying what we hate but saving what we love.
Oh my gosh. Okay. The majority of the film was good, but the Cantobite scene was garbage, and Finn should have died. Like, it's not like I think Finn's a terrible character, because he's a great character, but he was gonna go out with a bang, and it would have been awesome and emotional, but then Rose just had to take that all away from him, and I hate her for that.
Rose is the Jar Jar Binks of the new trilogy.
Everyone thought it was gonna be the Porgs, but nope, it's Rose.
It's Rose.
It's Rose. Not by fighting what we hate, but saving what we love. It's like, just
cringe.
Let Finn die. He was gonna go out so honorably. That was it would have been so great. But yeah, and also just kind of touching on Star Wars, because Star Wars has just been a big controversial movie this year. But the way is this considered a spoiler? I'm gonna talk about Luke, because I feel like a lot of people have probably seen it by now.
What are you talking about?
The final scene with Luke.
Let's not talk about it.
Okay, but yeah, I like some of the homage. I'm just gonna say that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, okay. Now we're moving on to the worst films of 2017.
Yeah. I'm not gonna go into detail in any of these, just because we spent a lot of time as it is. So we're just gonna talk about the bottom 15 movies that I saw last year. I saw a ton of garbage. I saw terrible movies like The Shack, and Kingsman: The Golden Circle, and Sleepless, and Guardians, and Kong Skull Island, and Death Note, and The Space Between Us, and Rough Night. But those are not the worst. Here are the 15 worst films of the year, as by my own personal opinion. At number 15, it is Pitch Perfect 3. At number 14, it is The Star. It was a Sony Pictures animated movie. At number 13, it is Geostorm. At 12, it is the Flatliners remake, reboot thing. Screw that thing. What am I on? Number 11?
Yeah, number 11.
A Bad Mom's Christmas. Number 10, Snatched. I hate Amy Schumer, and you drag Goldie Hawn into this. At number 9, I have the animated movie Batman and Harley Quinn. I do not know how anyone likes that movie. It is atrocious. Number 8, Netflix's Bright. Fight me, that movie is garbage.
I haven't seen it.
It is not... well, you just don't want to see Netflix release blockbusters. No, I am totally... Like, I think Netflix going, like, big budget... I think it's a really good idea to compete with theaters. I think it's an excellent idea. I want to see more blockbusters from Netflix. I just don't want to see this garbage. This was awful. This was horrendous. It was Lord of the Rings meets Training Day, and it was the most obnoxious thing I think I've ever seen. It was directed by the guy who directed Suicide Squad. And if that doesn't tell you everything you need to know, I don't know what will. There's a line in this movie.
He must have a liking for Will Smith.
There's a line. There's a line in this movie where Will Smith like kills a fairy with a broomstick and looks at it and says, "Fairy lives don't matter today." And I cringed so hard. It was so
I think they were just trying to go for they might have been trying to go for the trademark Will Smith, just like
acting like a hard ass, I guess.
Well, no, like his catchphrases.
Yeah,
which he has a lot of good catchphrases in other movies.
Last thing, I just on Bright. I think it's funny that Joel Edgerton is in this too, and he was in my top 15. He's also in my bottom 15. So that says a lot. Good job, Joel Edgerton. Yeah,
multifaceted actor.
You're a jack of all trades. What am I on? Number 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Whoa, what? 7. Hold on. 7, 6, 3, 8, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Yes, number 8.
Number 8.
That was my number 8. My number 7.
Alrighty.
Gosh, I'm so sorry. I didn't organize. I'm looking at my Letterboxd list, and of course, like, it's in the hundreds and stuff, so it's hard to keep track of it because I'm stupid. Anyway, number 7 is Barbie Dolphin Magic. Don't ask me why I watched it.
You have younger siblings.
Yeah, well, they're not that young. I just have a sister who watches garbage movies for the sake of watching them. And not like my garbage movies like Birdemic or The Room or something. No, she watches like Disney Channel original garbage.
Oh.
But she's self-aware that it's garbage. She just watches it. And I don't know why.
It's like a guilty pleasure type thing.
I guess. Maybe. And we watched this and it was like 70 minutes of hell. Number 6, Transformers: The Last Night.
We both saw this together.
Yeah, we saw it together. There was
probably the most incoherent movie
there was,
I've ever freaking watched.
The only thing I'm going to say about it is that at one point when we were watching the movie, I leaned over to Ben and I like whispered, like, "Do you know what's happening?" He's like, "I don't know." Like, we just completely lost track of what was happening.
This is an actual plot point in the movie. At one moment, they're like. I can't even really remember. But
the only thing I remember is like there's 5 subplots going on at once.
Yeah, but
literally 5
like,
subplots.
But before this scene, they're like there's a whole bunch of action going on. There's like high stakes. They steal like a submarine and stuff like that.
Oh yeah.
And then the next thing, they're having dinner, a fancy dinner on the submarine. And like the little robot companion dude is like their butler.
C-3PO.
Yeah, and you're like, where did this come from? Where in the world did this come from? Why are they having dinner when just like 5 minutes ago they were like,
oh man,
the stakes were like super high, and then now they're just having a casual dinner because Mark Wahlberg's character decides that he likes the other character.
Oh, Michael Bay.
Good old Michael Bay. But yeah, that was
number 5.
It wasn't hard to watch because the visuals were fun. They were cool. Visuals in Transformer movies are cool. But it
was computer vomit as usual.
But just it was hard to watch because of the writing and the acting and just everything else. Yeah. So, yeah.
Number 5 is Kidnap from Halle Berry. I think it was terrible. Number 4, 50 Shades Darker. That was hell. Number 3, Fight Me. I hate this movie. I know a lot of you are going to really like it, but screw you, Mother from Darren Aronofsky. I hate that movie. I hate that movie. I hate that movie. I hate that freaking movie.
On my side of it, I also very much disliked it just because it had a really pretentious air to it. But the only thing that I really did like about it was just the feeling that I got walking out of it. It was just weird, like uncomfortable.
I was
feeling,
pissed.
But
I walked out of the theater.
It was the atmosphere. I thought the atmosphere that it created was interesting, but other than that, it was kind of garbage. So
it was vapid and obnoxious. Number 2 is the ABC remake of Dirty Dancing. And a lot of people didn't watch this, and I'm one of the few people who sat down for all 3 hours to watch it.
All 3 hours?
Including commercial breaks.
Oh, okay.
And, yeah, it is awful. Think of Dirty Dancing, but without any dancing, and TV actors that can't act. And then imagine that for about, 2 hours and 15 minutes, 2 hours and 30 minutes...
But extended to 3 because of commercials.
Yeah.
That just sounds like it's not really even worth watching.
It's agonizing. And the last movie, surprise, surprise, is the Emoji Movie. Screw
Which I haven't
you.
seen.
Screw you. I hate it. I own it on Blu-ray because I hate myself, and I found it on for $10 at Black Friday, and I thought it was funny just to own it for the meme.
Ironically.
And then I realized I supported the movie even further, and it sent me into a gigantic existential crisis.
Because you wanted it for the meme, but then at the same time...
Then I realized, at the same time, I realized I gave Sony my money, and I'm like, why?
Alright, so I didn't curate a list of my bottom 15, but I'm just going to point out some stinkers. Justice League was a stinker for me because there's just so many things wrong with it. I mean, it switched directors partway through. The CGI mustache removal, the really two-dimensional bad guy. It was bad. It was bad.
Yeah.
Kingsman: The Golden Circle. I loved the fight scenes. I loved the comedy and the acting and stuff, but the story was literally every other spy story that you can, and it just was the same thing as the first Kingsman. So. Yeah. Kong Skull Island. Some really cool shots at points, but man, was the writing bad. Let's see what other... Transformers, obviously. Sort by lowest first. Let's see the lower ratings. Oh. Well, I guess I haven't really seen that many films in 2017.
Yep.
But yeah.
That's it for the films of 2017.
Well, I guess I did see another 2017 from a little while ago. It's called Love Kennedy. It's a locally made Utah film. It's a Mormon flick because we live in Mormon land over here.
Mormon country.
Yeah, here in Utah. I watched it. Technically, it's some things that I pointed out about it in my review of it on Letterboxd was it looks like the cinematography. It makes it look like it's a wedding film exposed only for the indoors.
Oh.
Yeah, because you see all this other cinematography. You watch Love Kennedy, and it looks like it looks like it's shot on a really, really high resolution DSLR. And whereas that sounds like it's good, it's really not. It looks really mediocre, to be completely honest here. The story was really touching. Obviously, it's got its fair share of Christian themes that the majority of people will find annoying.
Well, I don't know. The God's Not Dead movies are popular, so anything's possible.
I guess, but the story... I mean, I'm putting this on my bottom 15 just because the technicalities of it were just so terrible. The sound mixing was pretty bad at parts. And then the acting of the guy who plays the dad was really disappointing, because I've seen him in other stuff, and he's decent in other stuff, but this one he's just bad. I do have to say a good thing about Love Kennedy is the girl who plays Kennedy's actually really good at playing someone who has Batten's disease, so that was good. And it did make me cry because the story is just sad. I mean, it's talking about this girl who has Batten's disease and suffers with it and is just the sweetest soul, but dies because everyone knows the story. But yeah. It made me cry, but it wasn't in my top 15. Yeah. That's a weird enigma, but yeah.
So I think that's gonna do it for talking about the movies
of 2017. Yeah,
I feel that we should take a break real quick because I'm thirsty
and I'm starting to sweat because it's hot in here.
It is hot in here. We're gonna cool down. We're gonna drink some agua. It's gonna be...
I need to eat something too.
It's going to be instant for you. It's going to be like a snap of a finger. We're going to be back. Yay! Look at that. We're back. After that nice 30 minutes or so.
Mm-hmm.
And
I had oysters and crackers.
I drank water. Anyway, we're going to be just kind of going over the Oscar nominations. We're going to go category by category. So we're going to go by... probably some of the smaller technicalities, and we're going to build up to Best Picture. We just have a Variety article pulled up, and we're just going to kind of go in a bit of the order of that. We're going to talk about each of the categories, which what we'd like to win in the category, what we think got snubbed, and yeah.
All right, so first up is going to be visual effects.
Our nominees are Blade Runner 2049, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, Kong Skull Island, Star Wars The Last Jedi, and War for the Planet of the Apes. I want Blade Runner to win.
I want Blade Runner to win too. So there's that.
I don't know what's going to win, though. Out of this one, I really think that Blade Runner has a strong front on this one. Although
Yeah.
I really could see
War for the Planet
I
of the
can
Apes.
see that one winning, but the funny thing is that each of these Planet of the Apes movies have been nominated for best visual effects, and none of them have won.
Oh, none of them have won?
Yeah, up to this point. So
Oh.
the previous two haven't won. They've both been nominated, but I don't think any of them have won. So I don't know. I think Blade Runner has a strong chance of winning this one.
I think it does too. Just by,
I still-
for the film world, it's the sequel to a classic, and it's got incredible visual effects for, in the face of everything else.
Yeah,
Everything else that came out this year.
I still have like a strong fear of Blade Runner as a whole not winning any Oscars. So there's
I think
that.
it will win a few though. I'm confident that it will win at least one.
Who knows?
Who knows? But so there's that. Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. I guess that was pretty good.
Yeah.
It was pretty good. Kong Skull Island. Also pretty decent stuff. Like I mentioned earlier.
The visual effects were okay, I guess.
There was a couple of cool shots. Like I said, there were a couple of cool shots, and really, that was about its only saving grace from having it be an absolute garbage movie. But
Yeah.
Star Wars: The Last Jedi. That had some really good special effects and visual effects.
Yeah, I mean they always do.
And they always do.
It's
so.
nothing shocking, and the thing is that I wouldn't care. I don't really want to see Star Wars win that one, mainly just because Star Wars has become such a corporate. I mean, it's always been a giant corporate thing, and I don't know, just kind of seeing Hollywood pat itself on the back like that just kind of gets a little annoying. I think out of any of them, I think the film that has the best visual effects that isn't some Hollywood hack garbage. To some extent.
To some extent.
To me, what I'm meaning is that it's not like a corporate-controlled movie that was just made by lifeless people to just crap out a film to make a bunch of money in the box office. Don't get me wrong, I like each of these films except for Kong Skull Island. I like all of them except for that one.
Mm-hmm.
But, I mean, they're not made by people who are, passionate for the art or anything. It's just made by a boardroom. So, Blade Runner, I think that's the one that had the most heart, the most soul put into it. It was a passion project by everybody involved, and I'd love to see it win. That's what I want to win, and
same with me. That's what I want to win.
And, I think it's going to win that one. So I say...
I also think that if it does, if Blade Runner doesn't win that one, it's going to go to War. Just because of the incredible CGI with the apes.
Yeah.
But I'm on the same side as you, though. I do want Blade Runner to win that one in that category.
All right.
So, yeah. Moving up. Next up is costume design. Okay. The films that are on here are Beauty and the Beast, Darkest Hour, Phantom Thread, The Shape of Water, and Victoria and Abdul.
I haven't seen Victoria and Abdul.
I have not either.
I've seen posters for it, and it looks like the cheesiest grandpa movie
Oh, really?
out there. Yeah, it just doesn't look good. Costume design, though, I really think out of any of these, I would like to see either Phantom Thread or The Shape of Water win.
I want to see The Shape of Water win.
The Shape of Water, I mean, that Fishman thing, 90% of that is a costume.
Mm-hmm.
And I had no idea until I went and I looked it up, and I was, whoa, that's crazy. It's not like just some, guy who got green screened or, who wasn't wearing a green mocap suit or whatever.
Yeah.
It was a costume.
It was a costume.
And, yeah, except for the face, obviously, because he needed to, animate the eyes and the gills, but...
That's why it's 90%, because the facial features were animated, but everything else was
costume. So, and Phantom Thread, costume design in Phantom Thread is
very pretty, very pretty. But when it
so
comes to
good.
the costume design for Phantom Thread was very pretty, but I still think Shape of Water deserves a costume design for this one, just simply because the fish man. Also, just the overall Fallout vibes of it. Just the costume design for the time period it was set in is very good, too.
Yeah.
So.
Beauty and the Beast was okay, I guess, in costume design. Darkest Hour, I thought it was just dudes wearing suits. Shut up. And Victoria and Abdul, I can't speak for it. My pick, honestly, I wouldn't mind seeing either The Shape of Water or Phantom Thread win. And I think one of them is going to win. So
One of them is going to win, and I personally
I'm good with
want
either of them.
Shape of Water. So
yeah.
yeah.
So you're rooting for The Shape of Water. I'm rooting for both The Shape of Water and Phantom Thread.
So yeah, there we go. That's costume design.
Makeup and hair, Darkest Hour, Victoria and Abdul and Wonder. Darkest Hour is going to win just because of all the makeup that was thrown on Gary Oldman to make him look like Winston Churchill. And don't get me wrong, it is amazing makeup. It is
It looks good.
It is some good makeup. It is really good. They make him. It looks very authentic.
Still, we haven't. Neither of us have seen Victoria and Abdul.
I haven't watched Wonder yet. We have it on Blu-ray over at the house, but we haven't watched it yet.
I'm willing to bet that the makeup on that is for the kid.
Yeah.
And his face.
Yeah.
So.
But Darkest Hour is going to win.
Darkest Hour is going to win.
Obviously,
so.
we don't need it. We don't need to go any further than that. That's going to win.
Yeah. Anyway, original song.
Ooh, this is interesting.
Mighty River from Mudbound, Mystery of Love from Call Me By Your Name, Remember Me from Coco, Stand Up For Something from Marshall, and This Is Me from The Greatest Showman. As much as I liked The Greatest Showman, I'm going to say that's not going to win.
Funny enough, because that's the only Oscar nomination it has. Like, it was marketed. It was marketed as Oscar bait, and it was so funny because it got panned by critics, and and it, like, this is the only nomination it has for the Oscars. So
yeah, I mean, This Is Me definitely has themes that the Oscars are gonna salivate over, just because I mean it's like the individualism, the diversity.
Yeah.
This is
and
me.
going with the theme of how the
body
Oscars
confidence
have been.
Yeah. Going with the current political climate.
Oh, 50 Shades of Weird, am I right?
But yeah, political climate, that has the possibility to win. I don't want it to win because I personally want either Mystery of Love or Remember Me to win. So,
I love Mystery of Love and I love Remember Me. I think are both amazing tracks, but honestly, I'd like to see Sufjan Stevens walk away with the Oscar just because he's an indie artist. And yeah, I mean, he has a lot of popularity and he's gained a lot of traction over the years with a lot of projects like Illinois and Carrie and Lowell, but I would like to see him walk away with such a prestigious award.
Mm-hmm.
But honestly, Remember Me is going to win. I don't think Sufjan Stevens is going to win this one, as much as I'd love him to.
Yeah.
I can't speak for Mighty River, Stand Up For Something, or...
yeah, we can't speak for those. We didn't see any of those.
Yeah.
I heard Mudbound was a good film, though.
It's on Netflix. It was a direct-to-Netflix movie. I haven't seen it.
I haven't seen it either, but I heard it was good, though.
Yeah, I heard it was good, too, but I still haven't watched it. I'm just lazy. Anyway, yeah.
That's our vote. Either Remember Me or Mystery of Love.
But I think Remember Me is going to win, although I'd like Mystery of Love to win.
Yeah. Any songs that...
Oh yeah, snubs. We can't.
Here, let's recap real quick. Visual effects, snubs. Any snubs there?
No, I wouldn't.
No. Nah. Costume design? Nah. Makeup and hair? Nah. All right, we're back to original song. Okay, what about original song? Any snubs there?
No, honestly, I can't really think of anything. I think it's pretty solidified there.
I'm just trying to think.
Maybe I couldn't see this being nominated, but I did really like the Run the Jewels song that they played for the credits of Baby Driver. That was an original song.
Oh, that was an original song?
Yeah, it was pretty good. I love Run the Jewels. I think they're a great rap duo, but the song they played for the credits was pretty cool. I didn't expect it to get nominated, though. I don't know if I'd really call it a snub or not, but, just something I'd like to mention.
Yeah, just honorable mention, I guess.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah.
But yeah, anyway, original score.
Woo, yeah, boy.
You read off these ones.
Dunkirk, composed by Hans Zimmer. Phantom Thread from Johnny Greenwood. The Shape of Water from Alexandre Desplat. Star Wars The Last Jedi from John Williams. And 3 Billboards Outside Ebbing, Missouri from Gardner Burnwell.
I've seen every film on this list except for 3 Billboards.
Phantom Thread, that's what I'm going for. That soundtrack was amazing. Johnny Greenwood's composition is beyond beautiful. I have listened to this soundtrack so many times. It is beautiful. It is dark. It's mysterious.
I have to give it a closer listen because to me,
it fits with the movie really well, and it's an amazing listening piece on its own. It was just a, glorious soundtrack.
I'm gonna have to listen to that one on my own because, like, when I was watching the movie, I really didn't notice much of the soundtrack except.
It's
for
so
the fact
funny
that
because
it's
it's like screaming at your face. During
yeah,
the whole
it's
movie.
like the entire movie, but it just sounded like it was classical piano, which is pretty. It's really pretty, but it didn't stand out to me as much as, for example, the Blade Runner soundtrack.
Yeah, listen to it on its own. Listen to the entire soundtrack on its own. It's a really good listening piece.
I'm gonna have to do that, and I haven't seen Dunkirk yet. But if I did, I'd probably root for Dunkirk. To be honest,
yeah, I mean it's a good
I love
soundtrack.
Hans Zimmer.
I mean, don't get me wrong, it's a good soundtrack, and I like how Hans Zimmer composes his stuff. He's a very smart guy. He's a very talented guy. But I honestly think his score for Blade Runner 2049 was better than the one for Dunkirk. Don't get me wrong, I still think the Dunkirk one was good, but it's not.
Because I haven't seen Dunkirk.
Like
so.
the Dunkirk soundtrack is not a good listening piece on its own. I tried, and it's like, this is a soundtrack that really can only be listened to with the film. A whole lot of
just
stopwatches.
it's a lot of tense.
It's a lot of ambience and not.
I personally could listen to that because I really love ambience.
Because here's the thing: I listen to a lot of ambient music, but it's ambient and extremely minimalistic. Like, there's barely anything happening for the whole score.
It'd probably be good, like... I was going to say it'd probably be good studying music, but then I'd probably say no because it'd get you stressed.
No. Yeah, it would get you stressed. That's the music you play when you're an evil teacher and you play it during a test. your students are having a nervous breakdown.
So I guess, yeah, there wouldn't be really any reason to listen to that on its own unless it was in the context of the movie, so...
Yeah.
But yeah, I would Phantom Thread. I'd say would be study music. Yeah, for sure.
Oh yeah, it could. I'm rooting for Phantom Thread. The Shape of Water soundtrack was really good.
It was really good.
I wouldn't mind seeing that one win. Star Wars: Last Jedi. John Williams, you've won enough Oscars. Who cares? And the Three Billboards soundtrack, I thought was okay. I mean, it wasn't amazing. I thought Three Billboards was just okay. I didn't fall in love with it like a lot of other people did. So yeah, my obvious.
I'm probably gonna. Yeah, go ahead.
I'm rooting for Phantom Thread, obviously.
For this
I
one?
think The Shape of Water is gonna take it though.
It's possible. I would personally. I mean, out of these nominees right here, I choose Phantom Thread just because it was the one I probably noticed most other ones that I've seen on this list.
Yeah.
Oh wait, I haven't seen Dunkirk. I said earlier that I've seen every film except Three Billboards, but I haven't seen Dunkirk.
Yeah.
But yeah, Star Wars: Last Jedi. I mean, John Williams is great and all. He's already won so many Oscars.
Yeah.
So I mean,
it's a courtesy nominee.
This would be another just pat on the back. So, Shape of Water I really liked, but Phantom Thread, very nice classical stuff. Snubs, Blade Runner 2049 soundtrack.
Exactly. I would say that. Also, I would say the soundtrack to Good Time. Although, funny enough, I like
Baby Driver as well.
Well, that's not an original soundtrack, though. That's not original.
Original scores. It's
not an original score. Those are all licensed tracks.
Yeah.
But the Good Time soundtrack is just freaking amazing. The thing is that I understand why it's not nominated because it's not the kind of movie it's not the kind of soundtrack that the Academy would like because it's a very gritty, very muddy kind of electronic album for the soundtrack, and it is original. It is for the movie, but yeah, it's definitely not something I'd see nominated. But I'm still gonna call it a snub because that soundtrack is amazing. Yeah, that's all I have to say.
Snubs, 2049, and Good Time.
Yes,
and we're both expecting Phantom Thread to win on these current nominees.
Well, I'm thinking The Shape of Water is going to win.
Well, we want Phantom Thread to win, but...
Well, I mean, I wouldn't mind seeing The Shape of Water win that one either, because I still think that soundtrack's amazing. But I'm rooting for Phantom Thread more, but...
Yeah, that's what I meant.
But, yeah, I would think that... I think The Shape of Water is going to take it, though. Mm-hmm. Production design.
Okay, so these... On production design, Beauty and the Beast, Sarah Greenwood and Katie Spencer, Blade Runner 2049, Dennis Gassner and Alessandra Corzola.
Don't bother reading the names. They're nuts on here.
But, Darkest Hour, I'm just going to say anyway because production design is pretty important, I think. Dunkirk, Darkest Hour, Sarah Greenwood, Katie Spencer. Dunkirk, Nathan Crowley, Gary Fettis. And The Shape of Water, Paul D. Osterberry, Jeffrey A. Melvin, and Shane Viao.
Production design? I want Blade Runner to win, although I could see Dunkirk really winning this one too. I don't know. Have you heard about the production design of Dunkirk? It was nuts. Like,
I heard a little bit
a
about
lot
it.
of cardboard cutouts that he used for faraway people to make it look like people were actually on the beach. Yeah, I mean, the explosions are all really, like, well put together. Overall, I mean, it's a great looking movie. I think the production design was really great. Oh, the Shape of Water production design was also absolutely amazing. And Blade Runners, again, was also great, too. I mean, overall, I think there were some...
It's kind of
some
funny that
good
they mentioned.
design.
It's kind of funny that they mentioned Beauty and the Beast because I mean, 90% of that movie was CGI.
Yeah, well, I mean, 90% of Blade Runner. Well, I don't know. A lot of that was actually miniatures, though. Funny enough, kind of like the first film.
But Blade Runner, I mean, for one, on the production design, like
It's also-
the scene in the water. Have you seen the behind the scenes for that, or at least the Adam Savage?
No, I haven't.
Oh,
I need
he,
to.
He goes to the place where he goes to that set that they used for the final fight scene on the
little water thing.
on the water thingy, yeah,
When
on the
Harrison
wall.
Ford's all locked up and everything.
Mm-hmm. And what that was is they built like part of that dam, like actual like that they're actually like walking on, and then off screen they have these giant like luges that come from either side and aim up at and then kind of like aim up towards the dam area, and then they just have like a wave pool right there, and then they have a blue screen on the one side that they're shooting in the direction of, and then blue screens on both sides so they can just continue the dam. But when they were shooting that, they like the water's like heated and stuff like that for the actors. They're actually there. They're actually getting soaked. Like the water's actually coming crashing down from those giant luges and stuff. The waves are coming in from the wave pool and stuff like that. It's incredible.
Yeah, Blade Runner 2049. I want that to win.
Yeah. But if you take one look at that Adam Savage thing, and I
need to because
cool.
I have the Blu-ray and I'm sure it's on the special features.
It might be, yeah, but it's also on YouTube right now. So
nice. I'll take a look. Again, for production design, I think there's some really solid stuff here. Again, I'd like to see Blade Runner win, but I really could see The Shape of Water or Dunkirk also winning. I wouldn't be too mad about those winning, but again, Blade Runner is what I'm definitely shooting for on that one.
Yeah, me too. And then what about snubs?
A Ghost Story, I'd say.
Ooh.
The production design of that film was just amazing. Maybe Phantom Thread? And, maybe Call Me By Your Name.
I'd say Call Me By Your Name, yeah.
I'd say those are probably my biggest snubs for that category. Yeah, otherwise I wouldn't say I have any obligations to the nominees on this one.
Yeah. I'd say my only snub would be Call Me By Your Name.
All right.
Sound mixing.
Baby Driver, Blade Runner 2049, Dunkirk, The Shape of Water, and Star Wars The Last Jedi. Sound mixing, I've
already mentioned this.
Okay, let me tell you this
but-
right here, right now. If Dunkirk wins this for sound mixing, no. That is like really my biggest issue with Dunkirk, is that a lot of the movie is completely inaudible. And I know, like, Christopher Nolan, like, I know he pulls this as like a stylistic thing, but it is always to the detriment of his movies, where he just has other background noise and other things drown out the people. And yes, I know in a lot of ways it's realistic, but you can make scenes like that where the background noise is like authentic, but you can still have your people understandable. Like, at least, because here's the funny thing, like, I like to think of a movie like The Social Network, and I don't remember, I know, like, there's the party scene in The Social Network where Justin Timberlake's character and Mark Zuckerberg, played by Jesse Eisenberg, they're in a big club and there's loud music playing and they're yelling at each other to communicate, and they're like sitting at the same table and they're screaming at each other, hey, can you hear me? And if I remember correctly, they pull subtitles down there. Here's the thing, that's a way you make the characters like yell at each other so that the like most of the audience can hear them, but you also put subtitles there so that everyone can follow the scene. But he didn't do that. It's just, there's so many lines in that movie that just get lost. So I swear to all that's holy, if Dunkirk wins sound mixing, I'm going to throw a fit. That movie does not deserve that award. It does not. Not at all. Not at all. I think
the same issue was apparent in Interstellar. The sound mixing was off.
I mean,
so.
again, that's the thing. Like, Christopher Nolan says, like, this is this big stylistic thing for him, but I don't care. It's a detriment to his movies, in my opinion. Sound mixing, though, I think the one I'm shooting for the most is Baby Driver on this one. Although, again, I would not mind to see Blade Runner win. I would be more than okay. I want Blade Runner to win all the awards it can. So, but yeah, I mean, either Baby Driver or Blade Runner 2049, I'm rooting for them both the same amount. Both, like, 10 out of 10 sound mixing, I think, in my opinion. If either of them win, I really wouldn't have a problem with it. I think Baby Driver has a really good shot at winning it. I could also really see maybe... this is probably the one thing I could really see Star Wars probably taking, and it probably will.
Yeah, that's true. The sound mixing for Star Wars was really good. But I've gushed over before, Blade Runner 2049 for me was the sound mixing was probably one of my favorite parts of it. That's why I what was I gonna say? When I went to go see it for the second time, I made sure I saw it at my friend's theater just because I wanted to hear that sweet sound mixing for 2049. So and sound editing, when we move up to sound editing, Blade Runner 2049 is going to be my desired one as well. Any snubs for sound mixing?
I don't know. I think...
Not that I'm seeing, really.
I think I'm pretty... I don't think there's really anything that I've seen this year that I could see really taking that award. Anything I'd say is a considerable snub. I'm pretty okay with the nominees.
Yeah, I don't think there's really any sound mixing.
Again, the two that I'm primarily rooting for is Baby Driver and Blade Runner. Either of those win, I'm okay.
And then sound editing, pretty much it's the exact same.
It's the exact same.
Yeah, it's the exact same.
Just
everything with sound mixing that we said applies also to sound editing.
Well, so. Again, I would say for sound editing, I'm again rooting for Baby Driver and Blade Runner 2049. So the most, but I could see either The Shape of Water or Star Wars taking it.
All right, film editing. We both know which one this one is that we want to win.
Oh, obviously.
Baby Driver.
The film editing nominees are Baby Driver. Yeah, Jonathan Amos and Paul Matchless.
Okay, so film editing, I'm going to read them out. Baby Driver, Dunkirk, I, Tonya, The Shape of Water, and 3 Billboards.
Yeah, Baby Driver.
Baby Driver. That's the one we want to win.
Any snubs?
I think Baby Driver will take it as well. That's what I'm predicting.
Oh, yeah.
Because I haven't seen I, Tonya. And I haven't seen 3 Billboards or Dunkirk.
3 Billboards' editing was okay. And Dunkirk had good editing, too. I just think the most noticeable... obviously the film was kind of built to have the most obvious editing, and that's Baby Driver. Mm-hmm. I think it's going to win.
Yeah.
And I'm totally okay with that, because that movie's amazing. Best foreign language film, we're going to skip over that one because we haven't seen
because we're not diverse and we haven't seen any of these.
What do you think I am, a freaking nerd? Huh? Huh? Like...
What are we, film buffs?
Yeah, what do you think? Yeah.
So yeah, unfortunately haven't seen any of these.
Yeah, I know, as much as I'd like to. I've heard some of them are actually pretty good.
My older brother Joe loves watching Korean films, so... yeah.
The next film I'm going to be watching is House. It's a Japanese horror film from the 70s. I have the Criterion Collection Blu-ray for it. I haven't watched it yet. I've had it in my collection for a while. Just speaking about foreign language movies. And it's Criterion, and I hear nothing but amazing things about it, so I'm excited to watch it.
I'm gonna have to, I might want to watch that with you because I like Japanese horror.
I want to watch it myself, but then obviously we'll watch it again some other time.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Best live action short film. I didn't see any of these.
Move on. Best documentary, short subject. Best documentary feature. Cinematography.
All right, here we go. We're getting to familiar territory because we didn't watch any of those other ones.
Yeah.
Okay. This one, obviously, Blade Runner 2049.
Yes, Roger Deakins is nominated for Blade Runner 2049. Bruno De Bono for Darkest Hour. Hoyt van Hoytema for Dunkirk. Sorry, man. You have a weird name. Rachel Morrison for Mudbound and The Shape of Water for Dan Lostenson.
Why is this underlined?
I think it's because Rachel
First female
Morrison's-
cinematographer.
Yeah, she's the first female cinematographer
You know-
nominated. And here's the thing. I'm glad that she's nominated. I mean, I haven't seen the movie. I've heard the camera work's really good. But here's the thing. Roger Deakins has been nominated 15 times over the course of his career, and he has never won Best Cinematography. Blade Runner 2049 is clearly, I think, in my eyes, and cinematography-wise, it is Roger's best work. It is beyond just spectacular camera work. It is mesmerizing camera work. If any other of these movies win, like, no. I am not rooting for any of these. Again, I think Dunkirk had really good camera work. Darkest Hour was kind of bland the way it was shot. I mean, it had some cool shots in it, but eh. And The Shape of Water had some good camera work too. But give Roger Deakins his damn Oscar already.
I agree with everything that you just said, and I do understand that it's important to recognize historical things such as the first female cinematographer to ever be nominated, which is important.
Yeah.
But I mean, like,
she has a whole career ahead of her.
She has a whole career ahead of her. Roger Deakins is old. He's.
I mean, okay. I'm not saying that he's like super old, but I'm just saying like he's gonna die someday, and he's gonna die probably a lot sooner than Rachel Morrison. Mm-hmm. Rachel Morrison has a whole career ahead of her. Where I think this is one of her first films. I think she shot. I believe. Don't. Wow. I wish I could speak.
Don't quote you.
Don't jump on my back about this. But I believe this is like one of her first. So. She has a whole career ahead of her. Roger Deakins is old. Again, he's been nominated 15 times. Give him his Oscar already.
Yeah, this is my same.
This is the new.
Here.
This is the new Leonardo DiCaprio.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Rachel Morrison, great work and all, but Roger Deakins deserves this one.
Original screenplay.
The Big Sick. Get Out. No, The Big Sick by Emily V. Gordon and Kumail Nanjiani.
Yeah.
Sorry if I slaughtered that. Get Out by Jordan Peele, Lady Bird, Greta Gerwig, Shape of Water, Guillermo del Toro, and Vanessa Taylor, and Three Billboards by Martin McDonagh.
I'm going for Lady Bird on this one. The Shape of Water, I think the writing of The Shape of Water is honestly its weakest aspect. It's the thing I like the least in the whole movie. Again, I think that The Shape of Water is a great movie. It's a solid 8 out of 10 in my opinion. But the writing is at times really weak, really corny, and a little predictable and kind of typical. Despite the fact that it's such a interesting and very unique premise in its own right. Mm-hmm. I think that, Get Out, I think, is an interesting script, but it... don't get me wrong, I like Get Out, but I don't think it really deserves to be nominated for all that it's nominated. I'll be honest with you. Don't jump down my throat, but really, no. I have The Big Sick, but I haven't watched it yet. I've had it for a while on Blu-ray.
I haven't seen The Big Sick either.
It's also on Amazon Prime because it was an Amazon original movie.
Mm-hmm.
So,
and I've heard great things about it.
I've heard it's really good too. I just haven't watched it. And the Three Billboards, nah. So the one I'm rooting for the most out of this is Lady Bird.
Same.
I think that Lady Bird, the writing is the best aspect of Lady Bird. And I could see original screenplay going to...
I could see it going to The Big Sick just because I've heard so much about the screenplay.
Well, the thing is that it's the only thing that The Big Sick is nominated for. So it can maybe go to that. I'm also thinking possibly it could either go to Lady Bird or Three Billboards.
Mm-hmm. I mean, yeah. I want Lady Bird to win, but I could see it going easily to The Big Sick just because of how much attention the screenplay itself has been getting.
Yeah.
So, and the fact that this is its only nomination. So it's probably going to go to The Big Sick, but I do want Lady Bird to win.
Yeah.
Snubs, Call Me By Your Name, for sure.
Yeah. Well, that's original screenplay, not adapted.
Oh, yeah. That's right. I forgot Call Me By Your Name was an adapted screenplay. It's a book originally, right?
Yep.
Yeah. All right. That's adapted screenplay. Oh, there it is.
Yeah.
Call Me By Your Name.
Adapted screenplay nominees are Call Me By Your Name, written by James Ivory. The Disaster Artist, written by Michael H. Weber and Scott
Neustadter.
Yeah, let's go with that. Logan, written by Scott Frank, James Mangold, and Michael Green. Molly's Game from Aaron Sorkin, and Mudbound from Virgil Williams and Dee Reese.
I've heard a lot about Aaron Sorkin. I haven't seen Social Network or...
you haven't seen The Social Network?
I have not.
Really?
Because I only really became a film buff 2017. And so I've heard a lot about The Social Network.
I wasn't really either. It was kind of 2017 when I started getting really active in it too. But
I didn't really watch any movies before that.
I've seen it. Oh, dude, the Social Network is so well written. Yeah, Aaron Sorkin is a great writer, and
I'm taking his masterclass currently. So
yeah, and he directed Molly's Game. It was his first directed film, and the thing is that he's a better writer than a director. I just think he needs time to get to be a better director. But his script for Molly's Game is really good. The thing is, the only one of these scripts I've actually bothered reading was the Call Me By Your Name script. And that, it's a beautiful script. Look it up online. It is it's a treat to read.
When it comes to The Disaster Artist,
No.
I don't think. I mean, it's an entertaining film and all, and it's cool that it got a movie. But no, it's definitely not the best.
And I haven't seen Mudbound, so I can't really say anything.
Yeah.
Logan, I could see Logan's not going to win.
Yeah, no,
But-
Logan's not going to win.
But
But
in a hypothetical world, if it did win, I wouldn't have a problem with it. Because
Yeah.
I think Logan was really well written.
it was
For Cape shit, I think it was written really well.
Yeah, but and really, I mean, it was the least superhero movie of all the superhero movies that have recently come out. So
Pretty much.
yeah,
I'm shooting for Call Me By Your Name. I think the winner is probably going to be Call Me By Your Name.
I think the winner's going to be Coming by Your
It's
Name as
either
well.
Call Me By Your Name or Molly's Game. Those are going to be the winners. So
Yeah, those two have the best chance of winning. So.
exactly.
Yeah.
So next animated short.
Is there any snubs?
Ooh, good point. Yeah, adapted
Of adapted
screenplay.
screenplays. Let's check 2017 ranked.
Ooh, No. Well, maybe Only the Brave. Maybe. I mean, I really like the movie. Funny enough, it's adapted from a news article. I mean, I'm not angry about it, like, not being nominated, but I could have easily seen it nominated.
Yeah, I don't have anything here that's got snubbed for me. So.
Yeah, I think that's really it, in my opinion.
Yeah. All right. Next
Animated
up,
short. We're gonna just kind of pass that one.
you saw Lou, right?
Oh yeah, Lou, and I've also seen Dear Basketball.
Yeah, you saw. No, that's not. Oh, you saw Lou right here,
Yeah, and
and then basketball is probably somewhere down there.
yeah, go up. Sorry, we're looking at my letterboxd list. It's number 48 on my 28.
Oh, right there, dude.
Yeah, my 2017 ranked. Yeah, I thought that it was pretty good. Your Basketball, Lou, like that almost made me cry. That was like 6 minutes. And I almost cried at the end. I was like, "Hate you, Pixar! I hate you, Pixar!" Animated short. I mean, let's be honest. Lou's gonna win because it's Pixar. But hey, I mean,
What was Dear Basketball? What was that animation like?
it was cool. It's like a hand drawn, sketchy kind of. It's like a sketchbook kind of, but it looks really messy, but cool stylistically. You can watch it.
I'm guessing it's like a sketchbook homage to basketball.
Yeah, pretty much. It's Kobe Bryant narrating, like a poem that he wrote about basketball and stuff. It's nice and it's a little sweet. You can watch it for free on Go90, that streaming service nobody knows about. You just Google watch Your Basketball online, and then you have the Go90 link, and you can watch it there legally. It's legal. It's 5 minutes. And it's good. I liked it. I thought it was cute. But I think Lou's going to win, honestly. I haven't seen any of the other animated shorts.
Yeah, me neither. So I haven't seen any of the animated
Oh boy,
shorts.
can I talk about animated feature?
Yes.
Oh boy. These nominees are spicy. This
It's a very interesting collection.
This is the category that everyone has their panties in a wad about, and for good reason.
Because the first one on the list, go ahead and read it.
Oh, The Boss Baby.
I'm really wondering what got that its nomination. Because it was there like not enough like animated features in the year to grant that it's.
No, I think it's just because Man, I think it's just because almost every other animated movie this year that was worth talking about was either like directed Blu-ray DVD or it or something. It was something like the Lego Batman movie where it was like this a big homage to Batman, and you have the Academy just scratching their heads like, "Whoa, Batman? What you superhero?" So, I say the Lego Batman movie is a big snub before we even go with the rest of these. The fact that Boss Baby's even nominated to begin with is just
scratch Boss Baby and put in Lego Batman.
dude. The Breadwinner. I haven't seen The Breadwinner, although I've heard it's pretty good. Coco.
We've both seen that. We've both gushed about it. We absolutely love it.
Ferdinand. I saw why is Ferdinand not? I think the Boss Baby's a better movie than Ferdinand. And Loving Vincent. I haven't seen.
I'm actually, as much as I love Coco, I actually want Loving Vincent to win for the Oscar for this, just because the sheer amount of artistry that went into it.
I think it was all like individually painted frames.
Every frame was painted in Van Gogh's style.
Yeah.
Which is absolutely incredible.
Let's be honest though, Coco's gonna win.
Coco's probably gonna win.
I haven't
for
seen,
good reason, because it's an amazing movie, and
yeah.
It's obviously a lot of work and passion went into that as well. But just you look at the concept of Loving Vincent.
Yeah, I haven't seen it though, although I really want to. It's coming out on Blu-ray soon, if not already.
Mm-hmm.
My eyes are out for it.
Because like just looking at the animation, I just want, in terms of like of animation, I want it to win. I don't know how the story is, because I know story also does play into the determination of what wins best Oscar. I mean, Oscar for animated feature, but
yeah,
I do think Coco's gonna win, but Loving Vincent is one that I think just simply for the animation style deserves a win as well.
Yeah.
So
I'll go with you
because
on
it's
that one, yeah.
incredible. I watched a featurette on YouTube behind like the making of it, and it's mind blowing.
I bet it is.
Because it was originally going to be a short. But then they just turned it into a feature, and then you just look at the process that went behind it. Like, there was a whole bunch of different artists that were trained in Van Gogh's style that each had their, like, different booth, and they were assigned, like, a different, like, certain frames from the movie that they had to paint and stuff like that.
Wow.
And so there's just, like, this big, huge hallway of little booths and artists just painting their frame. It's amazing.
It's absurd.
Yeah.
Yeah, again, I think the big snub there, I think it's a Lego Batman movie, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm. Replace either Ferdinand or the Boss Baby with that, to be honest.
Yeah. Best Director.
Ooh, this is interesting.
Yes.
I mean, I do like... The obvious snub here is probably going to be Denis Villeneuve for Blade Runner, but, I mean, That's just us being biased on Blade Runner. I mean, it is a really great film and all. But of these ones...
Yeah, let's read the nominees and talk about snubs.
All right, Best Director. Dunkirk, Christopher Nolan. Get Out, Jordan Peele. Lady Bird, Greta Gerwig. Phantom Thread, Paul Thomas Anderson. And The Shape of Water, Guillermo del Toro. So my favorite directors on this list, personally, are Christopher Nolan, Guillermo del Toro, and just from seeing Lady Bird, Greta Gerwig.
I think the direction in Lady Bird was pretty good, but I think it lacked in a lot of places. I think out of any of these, I think the best directed films, are probably Dunkirk and Phantom Thread. I'd definitely be okay with seeing Guillermo del Toro win. Did you watch the Golden Globes?
I did not.
Well, he won Best Director at the Golden Globes, and he came up on stage, and you know, Guillermo del Toro is a very, like, rotund but very, like, soft looking man, and he just got up there and he cried as he was talking, and my heart melted, and I said, "Oh, I love you, I love you, you're so sweet." I hadn't seen The Shape of Water at that point, but I was so happy that he won. And the thing, he just had big sniffles. He kept, like, wiping away his tears and just talking about how happy he was.
Has he won an Oscar yet?
I think this was his first.
I mean, Golden Globe even?
Oh, yeah. I mean, the Golden Globe, I think that was probably his first one that he won.
Which is weird because, I mean, I watched Pan's Labyrinth and fell in love with that movie, so, I mean...
if I remember correctly, I don't know if it really had any nominations, though. Anyway,
which is a shame, because it's an amazing movie.
But yeah, he cried, and it was just the sweetest thing. He's just... I want to give him a big hug. I want to hug Guillermo del Toro so bad. Yeah, I wouldn't mind seeing him win, but I think that the best directed movies on this list are Paul Thomas Anderson and Dunkirk. Um, Although, to be honest, I think for any of these, I wouldn't mind seeing anybody win this award. I think everybody did a really good job.
Everybody on this list did a great job.
I don't mind seeing Jordan Peele on here. I think out of anything, I
think
this is the one nominee Get Out has that I'm like kind of not like okay, kind of about. I think
because as far as horror films go,
yeah, and this was a directorial debut.
Yeah, directorial debut, and
he
has a background in comedy for one.
Yeah,
so, I mean,
the movie wasn't scary, but he made an effective thriller, though.
Yeah,
it had comedy elements in it, but he made like a good thriller, and that
actually took me by surprise because when I heard Jordan Peele was directing Get Out, I was like, is this the same Jordan Peele as Key and Peele?
Yeah, I looked it up and I was like, yeah, it is, huh?
So yeah, but I mean, he did. I mean, like I said earlier, Get Out is a great horror film. So I mean,
and again,
in a world of the constant trash that comes from Blumhouse, Get Out was really good.
Get Out was released by Blumhouse.
Yeah, right? I know. Which is the constant other trash that comes from Blumhouse, like Insidious and all that stuff. I mean, I hear the original Insidious was good.
Nah.
But I hear everything after the original was bad.
Nah.
No, not even the first one was good?
Nah.
Did they also do Paranormal Activity? Or was that a different studio?
Don't quote me. I think it was Fox?
Reaches for his phone.
I can reach it.
Unplugging it. There you go. They also did Lights Out, Blumhouse did, I think, right?
Yeah, I believe so. I own it. I haven't watched it yet.
Matthew watched it and he liked it. I haven't seen Lights Out.
I've seen the short. Have you seen the short?
I have. That gave me nightmares.
It made me nearly crap myself.
Yeah, me too. I've seen a lot of horror shorts on YouTube just because, I mean, I've made horror shorts and I like horror. I've subscribed to Crypt TV on Facebook, but honestly, their stuff's a little disappointing. But when I saw Lights Out, that one got me. That one got me pretty good.
Wait, Blumhouse! Blumhouse did Paranormal Activity as well. What does Blumhouse not do?
Blumhouse, the horror movie machine.
They're like the Disney of horror movies, where they just own every property and they just churn out the same corporate stuff all the time.
Maybe that's just why horror movies aren't what they used to be.
Screw you, Jason Blum. But I don't know. I mean, the interesting thing is that Blumhouse, I think, can release good movies if they get good filmmakers and they're passionate about the projects they're releasing. They release a lot of garbage. Don't get me wrong. But they can release a lot of good stuff.
Such as Get Out.
Yeah. And I'm hoping that the Halloween movie that they're releasing this year is going to be good.
Oh, they're doing a Halloween movie.
Yeah, they're bringing back Halloween.
Are they doing Slender Man too?
No, I think that's Sony. Sony's releasing that one.
Wow.
Yeah.
Is this like the first cheesy-looking horror flick that has not been released by Blumhouse?
Yeah, that's coming out from Sony. I remember.
That's weird. That's really weird. When is it coming out? Because I'm excited. I'm excited to see it, but I know it's going to be trash.
No, it's going to be so bad. It's coming out in August, if I remember correctly. So yeah. Prepare your booty holes for August.
Because as much as I'm probably going to be on this bandwagon of really cancerous people that say that the lore of Slender Man is actually very interesting, but every single thing aside from Marble Hornets that's been produced about the Slender Man has been absolute trash. Because, I mean, he came from a Photoshop contest. The concept was good until it got beat to death within less than a year.
Yeah.
Because as soon as Marble Hornets started getting big, because that was when also found footage stuff started finding another resurgence in popularity. The game came out, and that was the year for indie games because of Slender. And then everyone just wanted to get a piece of the Slender Man action, and then they just really, 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 really just ruined it, to be honest. The lore that was initially set up was cool. until it just got warped and dismantled and reborn, and until there's really no, straight up lore for Slenderman anymore unless you refer to Marble Hornets.
Yeah.
Which is disappointing. It's really disappointing. But yeah. That's about Slenderman. That's coming out in August.
Best Supporting Actress.
Yes, Best Supporting Actress. I want... Oh, wait. Directing, I want Lady Bird to win. Because I personally really like Lady Bird. Okay. So, yeah.
Oh, yeah, and Snubs. For
Snubs.
director. Yorgos Lanthimos for The Killing of the Sacred Deer.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
you mentioned that.
Yeah, I think that's a snub. Benny Safdie for Good Time.
Who Call Me by Your Name?
Oh yeah, and Lucas.
Godogino or something like that.
No, I can't remember his last name. I know it starts with a G,
Yeah.
but I know his first name is Lucas.
Lucas from Call Me by Your Name.
Pretty much. Yeah.
You deserve a nod at the Oscars.
Yeah, some big snubs for the directing category, but then again, like the directing category is really solid.
There's a lot of really good directors this year.
There's some good nominees, so I can't get.
Just in general for direction and film
obviously,
this year.
and we already talked about it, but Denis Villeneuve.
Yeah,
because I love him.
Mm-hmm.
The man can do no wrong.
Apparently, my dad thinks he can do wrong though when you talk about Arrival, and he doesn't like the fact that they were saying the military.
Arrival?
No, he didn't. He didn't like it because it was they were talking bad about the military.
Oh.
Which I don't. I grabbed my wall thinking it was my mouse. I was all like, but I didn't really see a problem with that. But Arrival was great, and Blade Runner is great. Denis is a god, so yeah. The obligatory Blade Runner snubs for every single category.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I don't think. Well, I mean, I'm okay with them not being nominated for freaking costume design. I mean, Harrison Ford just walked around wearing a T-shirt.
But Kay's jacket though. I want to get my hands on Kay's jacket, but I looked it up online and it's like $150.
Well, that's the leather jacket though.
Yeah, and it's a nice jacket. I really want it, but I don't really feel justified at all spending $150 on a jacket from a movie.
I do.
I mean, like, I wish I could have it, but
that implies
I'm probably just.
That means I have to have money to spend on it, though. But
yeah. I mean, that little thing that you can zip up and it covers the mouth. It's pretty cool.
Yeah. Supporting actress.
Mary J. Blige. Oh, you read these one. I read directors.
Oh yeah, Mary J. Blige for Mudbound, Allison Janney for I, Tonya, Leslie Manville for Phantom Thread, Laurie Metcalf for Lady Bird, and Octavia Spencer for The Shape of Water.
To be honest, I thought they were going to nominate Margot Robbie for I, Tonya because of how much they were friggin' praising her on the ads and stuff.
This is supporting
like,
actress.
Margot Robbie. Oh, support. Yeah, you're right. But I mean, my bad.
Yeah. So
yeah, I mean, Margot Robbie did get a lot of praise for I, Tonya, though.
Yeah. Allison Janney won the Golden Globe for I, Tonya. I heard that she did very, very good.
I haven't seen I, Tonya.
I haven't seen it though. It's out on Blu-ray real soon. All the Oscar movies are coming out this month on Blu-ray. So, 3 Billboards and Darkest Hour are already out on Blu-ray, so you can get those. Anyway, I think out of any of these, I think Leslie Manville and Phantom Thread was just amazing. But, yeah, so I think my picks are...
She played Alma, right?
Yeah, I believe so. Yeah, Laurie Metcalf for Lady Bird was awesome. She was really good. She's the mom.
Yeah.
Yeah, her performance was just amazing.
She played someone who like you hated but also loved at the same time.
I know.
Because it's like,
I loved her
Mom,
character.
why you gotta hold back Lady Bird from doing her stuff, Mom?
And
but
it's because of like I think a big thing her performance. Why when the movie was done, I wanted to go home and just go hug my mom.
Exactly. Yeah.
I love you, Mom. I love you.
When it gets to the end and she's just driving away from the airport and crying, you're just like, oh no.
Yeah. And Octavia Spencer and The Shape of Water.
She's always great.
Yeah.
She's always great.
Octavia Spencer's an amazing actress.
Was Hidden Figures last year?
Yeah.
Oscar, didn't she win for that or?
I don't know.
I hope she did because she did great in that movie.
I haven't seen Hidden Figures.
Oh, it's pretty good. It's a pretty good movie.
Octavia Spencer is obviously great.
Yeah.
Out of any of these, again, I haven't seen Mudbound, but
Man, that's a hard decision for this one.
I know there's a lot of good stuff here.
I'd probably say Laurie Metcalf, though. I mean, Leslie
Yeah.
Manville. Leslie Manville was good. I mean, and Octavia Spencer. I would rank it like Laurie Metcalf would be my first pick, then Octavia, then Leslie.
I agree with you. I agree
yeah.
with you. I'm going with Laurie Metcalf on supporting actress. Snubs.
The best mom that ever mommed on screen.
Snubs.
Snubs for supporting actress. Ooh, since this is 2017, what's her name again? Something Keene?
Daphne Keene.
Daphne Keene for Logan.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, okay.
She's a supporting actress. I know because Hugh Jackman was the lead. She's the supporting. Yeah. I didn't mess it up this time.
You know things.
I do. But yeah, yes. Daphne Keene for Logan, I think got snubbed on this one because she's literally the best child actor that I've seen so far.
Yeah. I don't really have any problems with the nominees or anything. I don't really say I have technically any big snubs. So,
All right.
supporting actor.
Willem Dafoe. Oh, okay. I'm gonna read these. Willem Dafoe for The Florida
I
Project.
haven't seen the Florida Project yet.
Woody Harrelson for 3 Billboards Outside Ebbing, Missouri. Richard Jenkins for The Shape of Water. Christopher Plummer, All the Money in the World. And Sam Rockwell for 3 Billboards again. Finger tapping.
I haven't seen the Florida Project, so I can't really.
I haven't
say
either.
anything. Although
Willem Dafoe is always a great actor, though.
Yeah. Woody Harrelson was okay in 3 Billboards. Again, I just thought the 3 Billboards as a whole was just okay.
Woody Harrelson's a good actor too.
He was good in the movie though.
Yeah.
He was really good. Richard Jenkins for The Shape of Water. I could see that. I think he did pretty good.
Who did he play again?
He was the roommate.
Oh, okay. Yeah, him. He did really good too.
Yeah, he was good.
He was good.
Christopher Plummer. Funny enough, as much as I thought All the Money in the World was a pretty mediocre film in most cases, I gave it a 6 out of 10. I thought it was okay, but it had a big issue. The color palette was so bad in that movie. It looked like your typical Oscar bait, where it had that dark, muddy green and blues for the color palette, and it just looks so gil. But I honestly think Christopher Plummer deserves the award alone for after Kevin Spacey got the boot from that movie for all the terrible crap that he did in the past.
Mm-hmm.
I think, if I remember correctly, I think Christopher Plummer's scenes were all shot in a week.
Yeah, I heard that too.
And the thing is for being a supporting actor, he's in a good chunk of the movie.
Mm-hmm.
I'm getting that all done in a week. Wow!
Think of the work hours that went into that.
I know, and just the dedication to the role. I honestly feel that Christopher Plummer deserves the award most. And I thought Sam Rockwell was okay in 3 Billboards. I'm voting for Plummer on this one. I think this is, yeah.
I really can't have a say in this one because the only one that I have seen is Shape of Water.
Oh, yeah.
But when you take into account the week-long reshoot that Christopher Plummer had to do, I think I'm just gonna have to side with you on this one. Just taking your word for it.
Yeah, I'm shooting for Plummer.
So yeah.
Next
Any
up,
snubs? Supporting actor. Anything from Call Me by Your Name?
Oh,
Because they're both leads. Technically.
yeah. I mean, well, Timothée Chalamet is nominated for lead actor.
Armie Hammer was probably supporting.
Yeah, I could. The thing is that he could be considered a lead, but I would honestly say he's more of a supporting actor. So I would say Armie Hammer for supporting actor, and I would also say Patrick Stewart for Logan.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Exactly.
Patrick Stewart did amazing in that one.
Yeah, dude, he was amazing.
He had a great performance and a crap performance in the same year.
Yeah, I know. The Emoji Movie.
Literally a crap performance. Again, no one's made that joke before.
Yeah.
But yeah,
those are my snubs for supporting actor: Armie Hammer and Patrick Stewart.
okay, lead actress. This is where Margot Robbie is.
Yeah, boy. Yeah, genius.
Yeah.
Lead actress: Sally Hawkins for The Shape of Water, Frances McDormand for 3 Billboards, Margot Robbie, I, Tonya, Saoirse Ronan for Lady Bird, and Meryl Streep, The Post. Meryl Streep, get out of here. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
You have won so many Best Actress awards. Do you
She
need
does.
another one?
She does good, but
She's good. She's an amazing actress. She's so good. She's so good. She's so good. So good. But seriously, it is time for other people to win these awards. I'm serious.
I'm gonna say first and foremost. I've obviously talked about her before, but Saoirse Ronan for Lady Bird. She's just such a quirky actress. She's incredible.
I think out of all of these, I'm rooting for Frances McDormand the most.
Yeah.
As much as, again, I'm gonna keep saying this. As much as I thought the 3 Billboards was just an okay movie, Frances McDormand was solid. She was so good in that movie. She was like a cranky old woman in the most she was like the Bruce Willis of cranky old women, and it was pretty awesome. I mean, not like, she wasn't like blowing. Oh well, never mind. I was gonna say she wasn't blowing stuff up, but wait, she kind of does at one point. Without spoilers.
She blows something up.
Yeah, Molotovs. I don't know. I mean, I thought she had a great performance. Also, I really like Sally Hawkins for The Shape of Water.
Sally Hawkins, yeah.
She was really good. And don't get me wrong, I like Saoirse Ronan, but
Saoirse Ronan's a favorite for me. I'm kind of biased in this way, but I mean,
I wouldn't be mad if she won, but I honestly don't really care to see her win the award.
I mean, she won last year, right?
I don't know.
For what's that movie? She played some fancy woman who came from overseas. I'm gonna get my phone off the table because it's just freaking buzzing. What was that movie that she did?
I don't know. I couldn't tell you.
Let's look it up. IMDb. Saoirse Ronan. Brooklyn.
Oh!
But that wasn't last year. That was 2015.
But she probably won the 2016 Oscars.
Yeah, she probably won the 2016 Oscars for that, so.
Yeah.
But yeah, Saoirse Ronan gets my biased pick. And then my other pick would probably be Sally Hawkins. But Margot Robbie probably is going to get quite the nod as well, just because of how much her performance was being blown up all over social media.
My pick, I think, is Frances McDormand or Sally Hawkins. I'm fine with either of them winning. I think who is going to win, though? The Golden Globes do kind of have a trend of... Well, the Oscars have a trend of not necessarily following the Golden Globes in wins. So I don't know if Frances McDormand is going to win because she won Best Actress for a Drama for 3 Billboards. Honestly... honestly, I think I'm probably... Man, who's going to win? I don't know. Meryl Streep, probably.
As much as I hate to accept it, yeah, probably.
Probably.
Because, I mean, she's great and all, but I think Saoirse Ronan was better.
You've had your time, Meryl Streep. Again, we love you. We appreciate you. You've done a lot, but it's time for other people to win these awards.
Step down. All right, lead actor.
Oh, boy.
So, we've got... Who read lead actors? Okay, so, all right, lead actor. Timothée Chalamet, Call Me By Your Name.
Yes.
Daniel Day-Lewis, Phantom Thread. Also, yes. Daniel Kaluuya, Get Out.
Yeah.
Also, yeah, he's pretty good. Gary Oldman, Darkest Hour. Haven't seen it. Denzel Washington, Roman J. Israel.
Esquire.
No.
Okay, the only reason why that movie, Roman J. Israel Esquire, is even bothered to be nominated to begin with is because Denzel Washington is in it. And that's the only thing it's being nominated for. That is a waste. That is a waste of a category. There could have been Jeez, man, who could have been into that role? Colin Farrell for
Killing of a Sacred Deer.
For Killing of a Sacred Deer. Robert Pattinson for Good Time. Thinking. I mean, hell, Jake Gyllenhaal
Ansel
for Stronger.
Elgort for Baby Driver.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind have seen that. Maybe
even James Franco for Disaster Artist.
I don't know. I mean, he did really good. I don't know if that, but maybe I mean, along the same lines of maybes. Maybe Andy Serkis.
Andy Serkis for Apes.
For Apes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. It's such a waste of a nomination. They just nominated because Denzel Washington.
Is Denzel Washington.
Exactly. For lead actor, for most of these I don't have a problem with. I think Gary Oldman is the strongest thing about Darkest Hour, even though I find that movie to be kind of inherently weak. I think Gary Oldman's probably going to win it. I don't know, but he did win Best Actor for a drama at the Golden Globes after he vocally said how much he hates the Golden Globes or how much of a corporate hack that they are, and then he
Then
then he gladly accepts his Golden Globes. Like, yeah, I love the Golden Globes. I'm like, yeah, shut up.
Probably an under the table deal there. Stop talking crap
yeah,
about us, and we'll give you an award.
Pretty much. I think my picks are either Daniel Day-Lewis or Timothy Chalamet.
I'd easily say Timothy Chalamet. I mean, Daniel Day-Lewis is obviously
I'm good with either of them winning.
I'm good
with either of them winning.
I'm good with either of them winning, but I'm siding more with Timothy.
Yeah, I think my personal pick is Timothy. Again, I wouldn't have a problem with Daniel Day-Lewis. Mm-hmm. Again, I do think there's some serious snubs there in Robert Pattinson and Colin Farrell.
And Ansel Elgort. Yeah.
All right. I think we've reached the big
Best
kahuna.
Picture.
The big kahuna. Best Picture.
All right, you read out these ones.
Nine nominees. Our Call Me By Your Name, Darkest Hour, Dunkirk, Get Out, Lady Bird, Phantom Thread, The Post, The Shape of Water, and 3 Billboards Outside Ebbing, Missouri. Out of all of these, there's some awesome movies nominated here. Darkest Hour is good. Dunkirk is amazing. Get Out was great. Lady Bird was pretty great. Phantom Thread's amazing. The Post was pretty good. Shape of Water was great. I thought 3 Billboards was okay, but seriously, my pick is Call Me By Your Name. I hope that movie wins. It was just amazing.
Yeah, out of all of these, I'm going to also say Call Me By Your Name. We're not exactly a regular Roger and Ebert here where they always have differing opinions, but I mean, how can you not say that Call Me By Your Name is deserving of the Oscar?
Good.
So, snubs though, obviously 2049.
2049, I would say, I don't know if I really could have seen Killing of a Sacred Deer get nominated.
Baby Driver got snubbed.
I don't know if I'd see that as Best Picture, but
I could see it.
But then again, Get Out got nominated, so
yeah. They're both, I think, on the same caliber-ish.
They both came out around the same time, both around May, I believe.
Same caliber, but obviously Baby Driver was better, in my opinion.
Yeah, same here.
But yeah, Baby Driver is a snub for me. I think it got snubbed. The Post is great and all. Steven Spielberg is great and all, but I think Baby Driver could have taken its place.
Yeah, I think it's time for Spielberg to kind of just
back off a little bit.
Kind of like Meryl Streep. The funny thing is that you can nominate like 10 films for Best Picture and only 9 are nominated here. Like there could have easily been, like even if it wouldn't win, like you could have easily just thrown Blade Runner in there, or you could have thrown The Killing of a Sacred Deer or Good Time or something else in there, or even Coco. Like throw that in.
Well, I mean that's already Best Animated.
Well, but I mean the best. Like
Best Picture can also be animated.
Yeah, I mean, there's been a couple animated nominees. I don't think an animated film has ever won Best Picture, but there have been animated films nominated for Best Picture. I think the first one was Beauty and the Beast. The original, back in the 90s, was the first Best Picture nominee.
It was
animated. Didn't win, obviously, but it was nominated.
The original Beauty and the Beast was awesome. I remember.
No, yeah, it's great. It's
great.
a beautiful movie.
The remake, not so much.
Yeah, I didn't like it.
It's a musical and all, and I say I like musicals, but no. It felt kind of like it was pandering a little bit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, again, I think my pick is going to be Call Me by Your Name.
Yep, mine too. And snub, obviously, Blade Runner 2049, Baby Driver.
Good
Good
Time,
Time,
yeah,
Killing of Sacred Deer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who I think is going to win? Oh, that's a hard decision.
Yeah. Also, taking into the political climate, let's make some predictions here. So I'm going to narrow it down to 3. I think Call Me by Your Name has a really good chance.
Yeah.
Given the current political climate and the LGBT, rallying around the LGBT community and stuff like that, support for that. Get Out, because
it's a black film, and you have those hashtags that went trending and stuff over the past couple of years on hashtag Oscars so white. And whatever.
So they're probably gonna, has a really good chance of winning just because they want to avoid that Oscars so white thing again.
Yeah.
And then I think, the third one. I think Phantom Thread because Paul Thomas Anderson.
Yeah, and it's also supposedly Daniel Day-Lewis's last film.
Yeah.
I'm sure that Lewis might probably win his actor award, but if he doesn't, I could see it going to probably the film as a whole winning Best Picture kind of for him.
Yeah, so those are my 3 that I think I win. Call Me by Your Name, Get Out, and Phantom Thread.
Honestly, I really don't want to see Get Out win. I don't think it's a film that really needed to be nominated. It's a great movie. I like it. I like it a lot.
Predictions, though. Just
I know. Predictions, I could see it winning. But then again, I don't really know, because last year's Best Picture winner was Moonlight. And that was a gay black film.
True. Very
and that
true.
movie, that movie deserved that award. I think Moonlight was amazing. It was a really good. Have you seen it?
I haven't yet.
Oh,
it's on my to watch list because it's an A24 film.
Yeah, it is so good.
If you guys don't know, on my personal letterbox, I have a list of all the A24 films, and I need to get through all of them. So far, I've only gotten 2, I think, which is Spring Breaker. No, I've watched more, but I mean, starting from the beginning, I've watched Spring Breakers and Rosa and something.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. But, yeah. Moonlight, that's definitely on my list.
So I don't know if people are going to, if the Academy is going to treat Moonlight as like, oh, you know...
That was
I mean, they're going to treat like the other...
That was our token black... That was our token black winner.
That was our token gay winner. That was our token black winner. Let's have something else win this year. Who knows?
Yeah, I mean, who knows, but, the Oscars recently have just been very politically charged, so...
Yeah, and the voting is ended at this point, so, we only just have to wait till Sunday.
Oh, it's this Sunday?
It is this Sunday.
Ooh.
So we need to make sure to get this podcast episode out, like, tonight or tomorrow.
Yeah. All right, so yeah.
March 4th.
Okay.
And on the 3rd, the Razzies are going to happen, too.
Ooh, wonderful.
Yep, I'm excited.
Mother's going to get something.
Oh, yeah. Just all the salt already brewing.
Yeah. All right, so I guess that's the end of this podcast. We went over our top 15 best films of 2017.
And worst!
And our worst 15 films. Well, 15 for you.
My
worst, 5.
Yeah.
And then we talked about the Oscars. So
I hope you, all 10 of you, enjoyed listening for however long this took.
Yeah. Probably as you're driving to work or doing your homework or,
doing what I do, standing around at work, so.
Yeah.
Hey, I mean...
If you have your predictions, put them in the comments.
Yeah.
So we can just judge them, have a little bit of a viewers contest versus content creators just to see who's right and who's wrong.
Yeah.
That'd be fun.
Yeah, if you want to... kind of stay updated on future episodes and stuff, you obviously can subscribe to the channel so that you
the
can keep
obligatory
updated.
Subscribe reminder.
Yeah, so you can kind of keep updated on the show. We're going to be releasing more Usually Disappointed episodes on a more frequent basis coming real soon.
Mm-hmm. A lot of them are probably going to be podcast based.
We also plan on making actual video stuff, but we have no idea what the heck we're going to do with that. So
up until we get some ideas for videos, we're going to be doing podcasts.
And if you have any suggestions or anything like that, leave it down in the comments below. Film suggestions, I think we should maybe dedicate.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
think maybe we should dedicate a podcast episode in the future to just talking about, or maybe like once a week. Like maybe we could make this a bi-weekly thing, and like once a week we can just talk about films that we've seen and stuff during the week, and give our thoughts. Maybe like a quick 30-minute episode or whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean it's all just suggestions. Then again, never really know. We'll see what the future brings us. But again, we've got the link to subscribe. We also
got both of our Letterboxd profiles. If
yes,
you want to go check those out.
Check out my Letterboxd because I write reviews a lot. I do
Ethan
a lot
writes,
of writing.
Ethan writes a lot more detailed reviews than I do.
I have a lot of grammatical errors, but that's just
He does get into depth and detail about the film, so if you want to get more of like a collected, like a review of more collected thoughts on specific movies, then go check those out.
I'm not one of those clowns that just releases, oh, haha, funny joke, and call that a review.
Which is what I've done for a lot of my stuff, but I don't really put... Actually, for Love, Kennedy, I wrote a very detailed review, but aside from that, most of my stuff is just quips.
We've got a Twitter account.
We do, so
yes,
go follow us there if you want to see.
I made a Twitter account for us, @UsuallyDisappointed.
If you want to see some self-deprecating humor tweeted from time to time.
We are @UDisappointed. The letter U.
Disappointed.
Yeah, I kind of realized that after making the account, but it's the letter U and then disappointed. DISPPOI.
You forgot the A.
Bloody hell. You see the channel name, you're going to look at the thumbnail. If you don't know how to spell it, then you're just as dumb as me. So, I have an excuse. I've been awake. It's like 7:30 right now. At this point, I've been awake for like 12 and a half hours. I'm tired, okay? I went to work this morning, and I had a lot of stress at work today, so I'm tired. My brain is scrambled, so I have an excuse. Not really, but I'm going to say I do, so screw you. So yeah, we're just rambling at this point. Again,
support us if you like us. Check us out. Check out our other stuff in the future.
Maybe when we get a flow going, I might make a Patreon.
Yeah.
Don't hold your breath on it. I don't like the idea of taking money, but at the same time, we want to up our production value. We want to kind of
one day we want to be able to have a dedicated set for our video reviews.
Oh my gosh, that'd be so amazing. And able to do that, obviously we need money, but that's far future stuff. We're just going to see how this all plans out for now. Yep. So anyway, thanks again for joining us for episode 2. For as long as it was, we are going to be back at a later date. We do not know exactly when we are going to record our next episode. I don't know if we want to dedicate a schedule to it, just because, my schedule in particular can be really wonky. I don't really know. But we want to make it bi-weekly. We want to at least have 2 episodes a week. I don't really know if we can dedicate a full day to release. But
yeah. So just subscribe to the channel. You'll get notified whenever we release a thing. And yeah.
Letterboxd and Twitter account down in
all
the
that good stuff
below.
Yeah.
All right.
And we're signing off.
I love you, babies. Have a good rest of your day, and goodbye.